There's a clip, I think, going around of the first 5 minutes of Superman. I don't want to see it, but everyone's just showcasing it. And I don't know if it's real or not, but I'm doing my best to avoid it. I may have to uninstall Twitter again. It's pissing me off. I don't want to know anything.
This is great. That was a great preview. Look at me. Look at all. This was so good. I'm happy. I'm happy. Oh god, that was.
There's a fucking clip going around of Superman. Fucking pisses me off. I'm not watching that shit. I'm not watching that shit. It's bullshit. Pissing me off.
12 seconds later.
This is great.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to the live, and you gotta love that SOB, good friend Cody, for mocking my joy and robbing it whenever I am at an ecstasy level of just happiness. And I was yesterday with the Superman extended preview, and I was so excited. I wanted to go live and just talk about it a little bit more, and just have my regular Q&A. You've been here before. If you haven't, this is how I do my lives. I talk about a movie topic, and tonight we're going to talk about Superman, and maybe just. I said rankings. I'm not going to do rankings today. I'll talk about the films, like the Superman movies, and which one's like my favorites. And I'll do an official rankings when the actual new movie comes out, right? We'll do that. But I'm just going to talk about the reaction, how excited I am. And then it's a regular Q&A. So you guys can ask me anything you want. Hey, Joey, boss, Bose, I'm doing great, man. I'm having a wonderful night. I'm excited. Thank you for joining, being part of the live. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to talk Superman and then go with a regular Q&A. I may be live 2 hours, 3 hours. I don't know. But I may have some special guests drop in occasionally from here and there. So new friend I just met. So I'm really excited to introduce you to him. I'm pretty sure you know who he is. He's going to stop in later. And of course, maybe some others. I don't know for certain. But hi, everybody. Welcome to Gen X Reviews. I know I don't go live as often. I try to go live once a month just to hang out with everybody to see how everybody's doing. And right now I'm just going to talk about Superman. And of course, for those who don't know, I'm obviously a Superman fan. I'm just like, I got my shirt on. But again, I know every YouTuber in the US right now is wearing a Superman shirt with the reactions and such like that. But I've been a fan since day one. I'm 48 years old, and I've been a fan since the Christopher Reeve movies. That's the movies I grew up with. Those are the movies I love with all my heart. I even have like a sleeve, so you can see Superman and Wonder Woman kissing. I have a sleeve of Superman tats on my arm. That was my hero growing up. That was my MCU. That was what I aspired to. Believe it or not, Superman was such a part of my life. It actually helps shape my moral compass, like what's right, what's wrong. And when my friends were acting up and doing stupid things, I'd always tell myself, would Superman do this? So believe it or not, Superman has had a huge impact on my life. And of course, the Christopher Reeve movies I grew up with. The last few movies haven't been, I guess, critically acclaimed. And not many people have loved them. There have been people who have. I've been a fan of those, and we'll talk about that later. But last night, James Gunn released an extended preview of Superman, the new movie. And I have to admit, if you saw the intro, I have to admit, the movie feels like I'm reunited with old friends. I feel like I'm 7 years old again. I feel like good. And I know a lot of people may not feel that way right now. I don't know, but it just makes me feel wonderful inside. I'm smiling ecstatically. And again, the whole early extended trailer reminded me of All-Star Superman, especially with the robots in the Fortress of Solitude, the look and feel, the color scheme, this and that. It really was it just brought me joy. It brought me amazing joy. And again, I'm excited about the film. And I know it's going to do well. I think what separates this particular movie, because again, let's talk about the last 12, 15, 20 years, right? Oh, hold on. The mystery guest will be on in just a minute. I'm just going to do some housekeeping real quick. But yeah, I wonder if you'll know who he is. I'm pretty sure you do. But in the Marvel MCU, they've owned it, right? They've absolutely owned the comic book genre and actually maybe the movie theater genre. I mean, they've owned it. Any movie they released, at least in the early 2010s, that first phase 1 through 8, whatever, it was making $1 billion. People have connected with it, people loved it, and it's owned it. And DC has kind of stumbled again. I know a lot of people aren't fans of the Zack Snyder films. I am. I know they're not everybody's favorite, but they weren't accepted well. And I can understand the tone. People wanted a traditional Superman, and Zack wasn't giving them that. I think Nolan kind of set the stage and the tone with the Dark Knight trilogy, which again is phenomenal, but it brought a sense of realism on there that people that I guess at the time make the best sense. I guess it made it at the time, it made the best sense to kind of bring Superman into a grounded reality, into the comic book genre, to kind of be different from the MCU, but it didn't land. It didn't land whatsoever to a lot of people. To me, I love Man of Steel. It's one of the best Superman films ever made, in my opinion. I love it. It's not really understood, and I think it's not appreciated as much, in my opinion. I could be wrong, but that's just my opinion. But this new film, it feels like an episode of Super Friends. I feel like a kid again. It's bringing me joy, and I think it's going to give the movie-going audience something that they haven't had in quite some time. Because again, I'm not a big MCU fan. They have had some hits and misses, right? But we kind of know what to expect, right? When we walk into an MCU movie, we know the template, the recipe. We're going to have the same experience, and this one just feels different. James Gunn, he's got a unique talent for telling stories. I mean, he brought the Guardians to become like household names. I think I'm not the toughest guy there is, probably, but I'm over here crying over CGI rabbits on the last Guardians part 3, and again, the Guardians trilogy, in my opinion, is some of the best films in the MCU. So he has a niche and a talent for bringing the humanity out of characters who are just misunderstood, or just, in this case, superheroes. So I love the fact that he can do that, and I'm really excited that he's bringing this to the movie-going audience. I hear it's fun. I hear they had a test screening, and everybody's saying it's going to be great. So I'm excited about that. So yeah, he's the first superhero. He started it all. And I guess without further ado, I'll bring my guest on right now. I just met the guy like 20 minutes ago, less than an hour ago. I know of his channel. I've watched it from time to time. I love his talent. I love what he does. And again, I just met him, so I don't know him all that well, but we're going to get to know him tonight. I'm pretty sure you guys know him, so let me go ahead and bring him on. You know him as... Oh, let me bring you on. Are you there? Did you come on? What's going on here? Okay. Let me see. Let me get a layout here. 1 second. What happened here? You didn't come on at all? There you are.
Oh, hey, there I am.
There you are. I don't know why you're in this format.
What is this format?
I don't know. It just kind of shows like how many times I have guests on.
There should be a little thing down in the bottom of different layout options you can do.
Yeah, let me do that. What a horrible first impression I have.
Well, yeah, I had this whole thing queued up where I was going to just start talking about how terrible the new Superman looks and just really like sour everything. Joking, of course, but no, now I can't do that. Okay, here we go.
Well, everybody, this is Adam.
Hello.
From Adam Does Movies.
Rudy foolishly open invited during our last conversation with a panel of people with Cody. He said, "Hey, I'm going live. Anybody that wants to join me can." And that was a huge mistake because I jumped on it instantly. Yeah, no.
Damn it.
It'll
like I don't know him that well, but again, when we met, cool guy. Again, I know your work, and again, yeah, I'd be loved. It's nice to finally get to meet you, I guess, formally, and I'm really excited to have you on the 31 and 31. I'm the new guy, so that means you're the new guy now.
I'm the new guy, yeah.
So you're the rookie that we get to bully around and carry our luggage and things like that. So again, finally nice to meet you, man.
All right, yeah, nice to meet you too. I watched the 31 and 30 when you were on. I saw the live collab, so I'm like, all right, I like this guy. Let's get on his show and talk shop for a little bit.
Yeah. So what did you think about the Superman extended trailer yesterday that came out? Are you a big Superman fan?
I mean, yeah, I'm a fan of Superman. I enjoy the Richard Donner films, the first two, not so much the Quest for Peace or the Richard Pryor eccentric one. Yeah. I did not like the Brandon Roth movie that much. It's got moments, of course, but I think ultimately it kind of missed the mark. I do enjoy the Man of Steel quite a bit, and that's kind of where I dip on the Snyder stuff, but I do like Cavill a lot as the character, and I was super bummed that he didn't really get to
Me too.
actually play Superman one time. You know, he had the start of Superman with Man of Steel, kind of learning the ways, and then he was instantly kind of relegated to this villain in BVS, and well, Justice League is a whole mess altogether. But yeah, so yeah, I do like Superman. I love the idea of Superman, and every time people say, "Oh, he's too powerful, you can't relate to the guy," they just haven't read the right comic, or they don't understand that anyone can be sympathetic if done in the right way.
Yes.
One of my favorite things about someone like Logan, for instance, where I think they nailed Wolverine perfectly, was in X-Men 2 during that mansion raid scene when the guys start opening fire on the kids, and Logan just goes nuts and starts, taking everyone out because they're attacking his flock.
Yeah.
And so you can definitely put superhero, like invulnerable characters in vulnerable situations. And I think Gunn is going to do that for sure.
Yeah, he's a phenomenal storyteller. And like I said, before you got on, that he made the Guardians a household name.
Yes.
And even with Suicide Squad, I know it was a financial bomb. I know it didn't do well, but that's one of the few films that I watch repeatedly because there's so many characters, they're all misunderstood. They're all lost. And it's well written. Yeah, I feel sympathy for a lot of people. And who would have thought that Peacemaker, the character that I never heard of, I would enjoy. And my favorite character in that whole movie is Polka Dot Man with the mom issues.
He was great. Did you watch the Peacemaker show?
Yes, I loved it. I can't wait for season 2. And the Penguin, I know it's not the same universe, but my God, the Penguin was phenomenal.
Yeah, that was really good too.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get my daughter to watch it because she just watched the Batman. She's 16 and she freaking loved the Batman. So I'm like, you got to watch Penguin. It's really good.
Yeah, we have a few people that are joining. I think you shared the link, and thank you so much for that.
Yeah, of course.
And Lev is like the collab I've needed. Well, we're glad we can satisfy your needs.
That's right.
This evening.
To your question though about the Gunn trailer,
yeah,
I didn't know we were going to get some extended kind of long form trailer before Minecraft of all things. So I took my kids to it, and we were running behind at the theater. And I mean, by running behind, I should preface it. Regal is terrible at trailers. They put a full 30 minutes of trailers before their movies now. And so I intentionally show up 20 minutes late because I'm so sick of these same previews. Yeah, kind of, but once in a while I screw myself over. So in the case of Minecraft, we walk in there and the Superman thing is going on where he's in the snow and he's bleeding. And the dog, is it Astro? That's not the name,
Crypto.
Right? Crypto. I'm sorry. Astro is, I think,
the Jetsons.
Yeah. Yes. Crypto's running around, and I'm not a comic book guy, and and we sit down, and the scene keeps going, and I thought for a second, because Regal's incompetent, that they're accidentally playing the entirety of Superman. I'm like, holy crap! I think we stumbled on gold here, kids. Eventually, it did end, but yeah, what a choice to put it in front of Minecraft with really no, forewarning that this was coming.
Yeah, I guess they didn't have maybe enough faith in Minecraft, so they go, hey, let's go ahead and just throw this cherry on top to see how it does. And I'm not a big Minecraft fan. I know some of the fans said it looked garbage, but quick, what did you think?
I just put the review out earlier today, but essentially, I thought it looked garbage too. I went and I enjoyed myself. I thought it was perfectly fine, fun family film. It's the director of Napoleon Dynamite and Nacho Libre, which is a bizarre choice for
it's Hess or something, right? Something Hess.
It's a big It's a big blockbuster, so it's kind of like, this is the guy you chose for the film, but you can see his kind of irreverent humor play out throughout the movie, and I was surprised by how much I kind of enjoyed the film. Now, I would still prefer it to be a fully animated, kind of more realized, fleshed out movie, but as kind of this fun, quirky side thing, because they said they're going to go different directions with other, formats for this film in the future, I thought it was good.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I won't see it. My kids are like already like, I'm not going to see it.
Oh, that sounds great. So I'm not going to see this.
Yeah. Thanks for your thoughts, but I'm not going to go waste a damn dime on that, man.
Like shit.
No, my kids at one point loved it. My son was into Roblox, but now he's 19. My daughter's already a senior in college. So they're really into the Five Nights at Freddy's. That was your big thing.
The Roblox is so bad. My son Connor loves Minecraft, but he's all in now on Roblox. It's just killing me. It's like, this looks so terrible.
But they love it. I mean,
I know.
it's simplicity, just like Minecraft. That old 8-bit arcade games or Nintendo games we grew up with. That's now in.
Yeah, apparently
I don't know.
so. I don't know. Like, you look back at the Nintendo games, and there is kind of an artistic charm to the 8-bitness of it. And even Minecraft has a really pretty kind of look, even though it is this just square boxes. It has art style. Roblox doesn't have an art style. It's just a shit show. It's. Do you swear on this channel? I'm sorry.
Yeah, you can say fuck, shit, whatever you want. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I hate Roblox, but I'm not gonna, tell my son he can't play it. It's harmless.
Yeah. I mean, it's fun. Like I said, my kids were into it at one point. Then it was what's the one? The shooting game.
Fortnite.
Yeah, that one. And now my daughter and I, we played Last of Us, Silent Hill, things like that. So she's at that age now. So, and that's the kind of games I like. I know we talked about the Switch in the private conversation we had before we got on. Nintendo, I had the Wii U, but I'm more of a PlayStation guy.
Yeah,
I love the PlayStation. I bought the PlayStation, believe it or not, when my first job, I was 18. I spent $600 and bought a PS1, Mortal Kombat 3, and I was like the first to have it, and I've been a fan since. So that's
a man of refined tastes. I appreciate it.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm a Sony pony. We have a couple PS5s actually in the house because we just don't want to keep unhooking them and moving them around. So we got one on each floor, and that's where we like to live. I am excited about Mario, whatever it's called, Mario World, Super Mario Kart World or something. That looks pretty solid, but no, for $90, not really tickling my fancy.
That's insane. That's insane. And real quick, going back to the Superman item, like I said, I'm excited about it. I hope it does well. I think it will do well. It just feels like it's different. And I think we touched on this in the conversation we had before we went on, but it just feels different. And again, the MCU, I don't know if you're a big fan of the MCU. I love quality when I see it. I love effort when I see it. But when it got stagnant and just kind of this safe sort of like same menu that you were walking to the theater, you knew what to expect, the jokes, there was like an emotional moment, then they just undercut it with a damn joke. I couldn't stand that. So I got used to it. I mean, there are some great movies. I think Logan is a masterpiece. I love Logan.
I mean, not part of the MCU, but yes, it is a masterpiece. Yeah.
When it's done right, right?
I agree.
But I just wasn't a fan of it. And even with Fantastic Four, I will go see it. But again, I just feel like I'm going to get the same thing. And with Superman, I feel like it's this whole new feeling, a whole new product, something refreshing.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's James Gunn's vision, and I'm a big fan of his. I've liked pretty much everything he's put out, from the Dawn of the Dead remake to Slither to Super. His more indie stuff is great. And then you have, of course, the Guardians trilogy, which is about as damn perfect as it could be, I think. I can't think of many trilogies that stuck the landing as well as that one did. So yeah, I'm very excited for this. Yeah. And it does have a different feel. You're right. Whether it's kind of the overexposed look at points, which is a little odd. Some of the shots are very high contrast, especially when Clark is running into the office. There's that shot of the crowd that looks like it really punched up some of the contrasting colors. I don't know what he's going for there, but hopefully the final product is a little bit more cohesive in that term. It does have. Okay, I'll say this. It does not actually feel like a James Gunn movie from the trailer, and that's what's throwing me the most about this. It seems like he's doing something a little bit maybe out of his comfort zone. Although the clip they released had his humor for sure. It's still kind of flowing a little bit different than what I'm used to from him. So we'll see what the final product is. I am very pumped though, and like you. The MCU for me was been there, done that. It was great while it lasted. Tony snapped himself, out of the storyline and pretty much snapped half the audience away from the MCU. Like everything multiverse has been kind of a shit show. Yeah. The Spider-Man thing was fine. I don't like it near as much as a lot of other people do. Spider-Man, No Way Home, Far From Home, like Home Alone.
Getting Home, Home Alone.
Home is Where the Heart Is. I don't know. Whatever the last one was.
We don't,
Yeah, it's great to see the reunion, but let's be honest. The build up to that was one of the dumbest storylines I think I've ever seen in an MCU movie. Oh, my kids didn't get into the college they wanted to, Doctor Strange. Really? This is what we're doing? Oh, let me just wipe everybody's memory. That's
Thank
the thing
you.
I do. Yeah, I do that all the time. It's just a casual thing we do.
Yeah, and thank you for saying that because I'm watching the movie. I'm like, does anybody think this is like ethically wrong?
Yeah,
I
it's
mean, this guy's got the
ridiculous.
superpower to wipe everybody's memory just to get this guy into college. Are we doing that? Are we that reckless with our powers? I mean, come on, come on.
And especially after half the world was wiped out for 5 years straight, then he's just going to go ahead and do other things that kind of mess with time. And yeah, I thought that was really silly, but overall the film was fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It's a good time
Yeah.
and nostalgia. I think it made $2 billion. I don't know, but it did.
Stupid amount of money.
Yeah, it did. But so the MCU, I am rooting for it. But again, I'm a big DC fan. You and I are around in our 40s, so I grew up in the era where Super Friends in the mornings, and of course the Batman animated series. And in the 90s, DC did rule the box office, and Marvel didn't have anything at one point. So that's where I come from. And again, the Chris Reeve movies I grew up with, and I love them with all my heart.
Yeah, was it you that said you liked Batman and Robin, or was that the other guy?
No, that was Brian.
Just disgusted by. Okay, yeah, that's probably why. Okay, yeah, I'll stay away from Brian because that was just egregious. Like I saw Batman and Robin 3 times in the theaters. Like what? What? I know this is a first impression, but it's not really working very well. No, I really dig the first 2 Batman movies by Tim Burton. Returns, I thought was just fantastic.
Oh, I love
that
Returns.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just love the fact that he's got these penguins like with missiles going to kill the firstborn children of Gotham City. Like, yes, this is awesome.
DeVito is just fully invested in the role. He's biting people's noses off. It's so good.
Yeah, and Michelle Pfeiffer. Come on, we can't forget about her.
Forget about it.
The best Catwoman I think ever will be.
I agree because she fully embraces it. And they keep trying to like. It's so funny. The more serious the Batman movies get, the more, or I should say, the less like Batman these movies get.
Yeah.
You have the really kind of over the top schlocky Tim Burton stuff, which is great, and then you get to the Nolan stuff that's more grounded and serious. Suddenly, Batman's wearing more like armor, and he's driving in a Hummer around, and Catwoman's ears are really just her goggles.
Yeah.
And then we get to the Batman, and Catwoman is basically just wearing a black mask. They're not even trying anymore. the newest iteration of Batman will be just a dude with some armor on, and Catwoman will be just a woman whose name is Cat, and that's as close as they'll get.
Yeah, and the next film will be what, in 2029? Last I heard, 2028. It's such a far way from now.
Yeah, because the director's having, I think, like family issues, which is sad.
Yeah,
and he doesn't have the David Fincher 7 movie to copy off of the next time around.
Adam, I think we're going to get along just fine. We're going to get along just great, man. Well, again, this is my lives. I go live maybe once a month, and it's very informal. Like I have a topic, like we're touching on Superman, but then it's like a live Q&A. People could ask me whatever, and that's what we're going to do here. But since you're new, to me, and again, we're talking for the first time, actual exchanging here. You said you're not really a comic book guy. So what is your niche? Like, what is it? The 80s, video games? What is it?
That's a good question. People often ask me that, and I don't have a niche. That's why it took me 14 years to get to that silver play button last week.
14 years, really?
Yeah, off and on. It's been a project. My channel started as movie feuds, where I took 2 movies and pit them head to head, and I did it with a buddy, and that show did really well. We're getting a couple million views on videos here and there, and because I'm an idiot, I'm like, okay, let's do like 8 other shows now and really fracture the audience and confuse YouTube. And then a couple years back, I basically kind of started from scratch and threw away all my shows and just focused on, I'm just going to review every damn movie that I can get my hands on, mainly mainstream stuff, but I also will get into the dirt and do the streaming things as well. As far as niche though, I don't have one. I guess just kind of having fun talking movies is my niche. I like to joke around a lot with my reviews.
Yeah, and that's what I've noticed, like when in the few that I've caught, like, hey, I like this guy. I don't know if you write your stuff or you're just shooting from the hip, but if you are, I'm impressed by that because I couldn't do that, man.
I used to write everything for movie feuds. On my regular reviews, I just go freestyle, and there's a lot of editing. I can tell you that.
Yeah,
a lot of editing.
Yeah,
probably for you as well. Yes.
Oh yeah, dude. I started in 2016. My whole story, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people are tired of hearing it, but I got divorced and I had no friends and I had nobody. So I'm like, well, I love movies. Movies are my outlet. So I went to the movies on like this is when Batman v Superman came out, and the original Suicide Squad. But I had nobody to talk to. So I'm like, you know what? Let me start a channel, and I'll treat the camera like it's a friend, and I'm not an expert. I'm just going to talk about how I feel. And that separates me from like Sean, Cody, and everybody. I just talk about not the technical things, but just how I felt. Like it's art,
Sure.
it's objective. This is how it made me feel. And that's how I started it. But again, I've been, how life is, kids,
Mhm.
consistency, things like that. So I've only been at it since 2016, which is about 9 years. So if I put more effort into it, of course, it'd blow up a little bit more. But again, I know, you know how it is. Things happen and things. But I love movies. Movies are my passion, and I love talking about things. But as far as me, I think comic movies are what I love, but also 80s. I know we're talking earlier about Die Hard and all those movies you grew up with us alone. Those are the things I grew up with as well. But I just love talking about it and then talking to people who like talking about it.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you want to talk about movies I grew up with? Definitely 80s, 90s child. So the Jean-Claude Van Damme films, Jackie Chan movies.
Yeah.
Everything is Sly Stallone, Arnold. Yeah, of course. You got the Speeds from Keanu Reeves. You got the Lethal Weapon films. Naked Gun just came out with a trailer.
Yeah, that trailer was pretty funny. Yeah.
It was. I'm not big on the soft reboots, although ironically, I'm pretty generous when I do my reviews for them because there's such a playbook to these films now that it's like, what? Can I keep getting outraged about what I know they're gonna do every time? It's like, oh yeah, 30 years later, he's bringing on the jacket again from Indiana Jones. It's like, God, this is so freaking formulaic.
Yeah.
But Naked Gun is one of my favorite comedies of all time. It's a top 10 for me, and the trilogy is pretty damn fantastic all around. So doing a new version of this was really hurting my soul. But then I watched the trailer and I thought, okay, they're in on the joke. They're at least referencing all the soft reboot stuff that these companies do. And then, of course, that OJ joke at the end was pretty damn spot on. So I thought, all right, this might actually work. Yeah. You did get kind of an actor to play the comedy, which is what they did back in the day. And and he sounds a lot like
he does.
Liam Neeson, Leslie Nielsen. It's very similar. Apparently that helps.
Yeah, and I've liked them, but I think for me they're funny. I mean, I can't wait to see this other one because in the trailer really kind of sold me. But for me, I love Airplane, the Zucker Brothers movies.
Oh yeah.
Airplane's always great. That's something I can watch all the time. Top Secret with Val Kilmer. That's his first movie, and I know he just recently passed. So
yes,
shout out to Val Kilmer. But those are the movies I really love. And of course, what's the other one? Spaceballs, Mel Brooks movies. I love as well. Yeah. The group doesn't like Mel Brooks movies, by the way. So that kind of shocked me. Like, what?
Oh, like Cody and them?
Cody and them? No, they didn't. They say the humor's kind of old and it aged, and it's not really landing. I'm like, you guys are pissing me off.
I mean, Blazing Saddles is a classic.
Yeah.
I'll even randomly throw Dracula Dead and Loving It once in a while. I think it's so stupidly bad that it's hilarious. Like he knows it's bad on purpose, but it's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. How do you know Young Frankenstein? The guy's
that's a classic.
High
Anxiety. That's
wow. I'm losing more and more respect for these guys every time. The whole Batman Forever. No, I'm sorry, Batman and Robin thing, and then people not appreciating Nope on the panel. What is going on over there?
I do like Nope. Nope was good.
Good.
I did like Nope. I do love, like, for example, when I go to the movies, I want to experience something different. Yeah. And with Nope, we got that. I mean, it's a little kind of artsy, and you got to really think into the themes of what they're talking about, control whatever. But I just love how I thought I had it figured out, and then at the end, he's like, "Holy shit, what is this? It's like a jellyfish. What the hell's going on?"
Yeah.
But yeah, it's actually just kind of took me by surprise, and I love that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay, well, let me get to some comments here because I know this is a Ask Us Anything here. So let me go back up here first.
And Rudy, if you ever want me to leave, you just kick me out.
No. I like you. I like you. You're cool, man. You can hang out with us. Yeah, that's fine. Ryan's asking, did you like Creature Commandos? Yes, I did. I loved it. I know it was like 8 episodes. And again, it was very kind of reminiscent of the Suicide Squad. You have these characters misunderstood, criminals. But again, when you start understanding the layers of what they've been through, it was really deeper than what I had thought. I got really emotional a couple times. With the Weasel origin, did you see it, by the way?
I have not seen it because I don't watch cartoons. They're for children. No.
All right, bye. We're done. Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm actually currently watching Invincible season 2. Yeah. I watched season 1 right away and loved it, and then I just didn't really care to keep going for some reason. But I'm pushing through it now. It's up and down. Basically, my son said, "Dad, please watch. I want to finish season 3 with you." So that's what I'm doing. Creature Commandos is on my list. I've heard nothing but good things about it.
Yeah, and the same thing with me. I was hesitant because it was again cartoons, but again, I grew up with anime like
No,
Fist of the
I
North
was joking.
Star.
I love cartoons. I was just kidding.
But again, the story is what sold me because again, Weasel, you think of him as this idiot character, then you find out his origin story and how tragic it was. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but like,
yeah,
that is dark. I mean, with that, we're talking old people dying, kids dying. We're talking a lot of adult stuff. And again, that's what I love about James Gunn is that he knows how to. It's not just for kids. It's like for adults. I mean, there's a lot of adult themes and things I know the MCU wouldn't touch. And that's what I appreciate this. I don't feel like I'm getting the same thing. I'm getting a true adult, a good story for anybody.
Did Gunn write it all?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he did. So yeah, I loved it, Ryan. Again, if anybody hasn't seen it, I highly, highly recommend it. Let's see here. What else do we have? The issue is, will you find Superman? But I hope WB is not unrealistic in expecting a $1 billion movie. Needs to be profitable, of course, but don't be unrealistic. I think it's going to do well. I was joking in the chat saying it's going to do $2 billion, and of course that's just me kind of just trolling them. But I think it's going to do well because it's new, and I think since I said earlier, it's one of those movies that it makes me feel good when I watch it, and I know I'm a fan, and I know I'm not the only one. I read the comments, and people are saying I'm 57 years old. I feel like I'm 7. I know this is going to be a movie, maybe one of the first movies in a while that people are going to see it again, because I think what the MCU would got them to make billions of dollars that people were going for repeat viewings. I knew people who saw Endgame 5 times.
Wow.
So things like that. So I think this will be a movie that'll reach $1 billion. I think it will do well because it feels fresh. What do you think?
I don't know if it'll reach $1 billion. I know that the budget wasn't like crazy for this. Yeah. I think they said it was less than 300 million. Is that what which seems insane to say out loud, but I think it was kind of on the more realistic side. But I think it'll maybe get around 657. If we look back at the most popular Superman movie, Solo, I believe it was Man of Steel, and that was around 700 million. Mm-hmm. Or maybe that was Batman v Superman. No, Batman v Superman had to have done over $1 billion, right?
I think it did. Let me see if I can bring up the.
Let's get the numbers out. Let's see if we can get up the numbers. Batman v Superman box office. 874 million is what I see.
Okay. Since you got it up, I'll rely on you.
Yeah, and let's see what Man of Steel box office.
It made good money for it being the first movie of a universe like the
Man
DC.
of Steel 670. Okay,
yeah, not bad.
And so that's coming fresh. That's hot off of the Dark Knight trilogy. So the DC is on fire at this point, and it still didn't quite hit 700 million, which makes me think I'm a little nervous for this new Superman because there's been such a bloat of superhero stuff, and we're seeing more and more of them not do so well. Ant-Man and Ant-Man Quantum Shidia did bad. Thor.
I'm never watching that. I'm never wasting precious minutes of my life watching that movie.
So
I heard
bad.
It was garbage.
Yeah, it's really bad. Go on.
No, and in my humble opinion, I think the superhero genre market isn't dwindling. I think it's just a incredible lack of quality because it's oversaturated. I know, like for the first Marvel movie I'd seen in a while was Captain America. What was it called? The New World Order that came out.
Oh yeah, Captain America 4.
Yeah, I didn't know that I had to watch
Brave
the other
New
movies.
World.
Yeah, Brave New World, Whole New World, whatever. But apparently you have to watch a lot of shows. You have to do a lot of homework. And I'm not going to invest hours and just watch a show just to go watch a movie. No.
It's a sequel to The Incredible Hulk.
Yes.
Plus the sequel to the Disney Plus TV series, Bucky and the Winter Soldier, or whatever, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And I think there was one other thing in there that it was referencing. And it's just, who the hell thought this was a good idea? To base it off of these random ass films, some of which people don't even remember from 20 years ago, and then a Disney Plus show that I don't think did that well either. It's just mind-boggling. Yeah. I'll ask you a question then based on the Superman thing.
Sure.
Since we're talking about a lot of noise going on, what's your take on all the shit going on in this trailer? Do you think it's montage? Because I'm thinking it's montage for the most part.
Like the first story with Crypto going to the fortress. You mean that?
No, I'm thinking. So there's a shot of a kaiju. There's a shot of Hawk Girl flying around. You have Nathan Fillion as one of the. I don't know what he is. Is he a Green Lantern or
He's
something?
part of the Green Lantern Corps. He's Guy Gardner. He's like a rejected member of him.
He's walking around. There's just so much noise in here that it feels like there's no way a 2-hour, whatever it is, 2-hour, 10-minute movie could sustain all of this.
Uh-huh.
And so I'm thinking, because this is an established Superman, I think even in the new trailer, they said he's back or he's returned, that we're maybe going to get a montage to set this character up and showcase that there are other superheroes. And this is the kind of stuff they've done over the years.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm hoping, because I don't know how you're going to make sense of just everything they're throwing at the screen.
I would recommend, that's a great question. I would recommend to anybody, if you have concerns about that, like what's going on, is it going to be cohesive? Go watch the DC is always making great animation films, right? Watch All-Star Superman.
Okay.
And you can see a ton of inspiration from that movie just on what we've seen. And more or less Superman's established, and he's got just a lot of things are just happening one after the other, and he's kind of encountering them. And with each encounter, you're getting a bit of his character, a bit of his history, and he's just overcoming all these obstacles, like one after the other, one after the other. But it's a great story in showing how resilient he is. And I don't want to give away the ending to the anime, because I don't think they're going to do the same ending for that cartoon with the movie. That would be dumb. But it just shows what he can put up with, his strength when his strength is lacking, when he's weak, he won't quit. So it's a great story that highlights his spirit.
Okay.
And how he will never give up. So that's what it's mirroring, especially with the droids in the Fortress of Solitude. It's all just in that comic or in that anime.
It'll definitely be different, because I mean, if they're doing that and it's just going to be kind of a vignette of different things happening constantly,
yeah,
that is very cartoon, that is very comic booky, and I don't think a movie has really tackled it in that way before, where there's all these threats constantly just bombarding Earth,
yeah.
like every day or every week or month even. That seems really aggressive compared to most past movies, where you have one isolated event and then a year later something else shows up. But just from that trailer, it looks like we have 7 or 8 different bad creatures coming and going. And so that's the only thing that kind of concerns me, is the juggling of all of that. But yeah. Gunn has established that he knows how to handle a lot of characters in one movie.
He has. And there's not one film that I can think of where I didn't like, even going back to Scooby-Doo. And everything he's done, I've walked away a happy moviegoer.
Yeah.
So, Sean, here we go. Again, wow, 20 months. Thank you so much for being a member, Sean. I really do appreciate that. Any of you have interest in Avatar 3? For me, no. None whatsoever. I had to force myself to go see part 2.
I hated part 2.
Yeah, it was beautiful. I mean, technically, I'm not going to take anything away from it. It's beautiful to watch, especially the underwater scenes. And you have to realize none of this exists. So he's kind of built this world, but no, I have no interest. How did it make a billion?
Watching, clips of Sydney Sweeney for 2 hours, 3 hours is beautiful to watch too, but I need a little bit more substance in my life.
You're into that.
Pretty pictures.
Now that's a movie I'd watch.
It's just Sydney Sweeney, Instagram. I'm happily married, by the way, for like 20 years, 18 years with.
Hey, congratulations!
So it's okay.
I've been married 6 months.
Nice. Well, super congratulations.
Thank you. We met in 2020, right before COVID started. So we've been together since then. So hey, let's get married.
Very cool. Do you have kids?
3, 1 with her and two older.
Oh yeah, obviously you have kids. You mentioned that they're playing Roblox and stuff. Okay.
Yeah, but I'm that 47-year-old guy who started over and had a new one. So yeah, I know the look. That's the look and reaction everyone says, and I get it.
Anyway, Avatar movies suck.
Yeah.
I love James Cameron. First, let me just
definitely
with that. James Cameron, I did a whole documentary thing for Screen Rant a couple years back, a deep dive into all of his movies, and so I did a bunch of research on him, and he doesn't miss. And it saddens me so much that he's spending all of his twilight years working on these Avatar movies.
Yeah.
He's got like 5 of them coming out for the next 8 years or 10 years. It's sad. Yeah. And the first one, I gave a pass and I enjoyed it, and I bought it on Blu-ray, and I never watched it again on Blu-ray because without the 3D gimmick, it's just nothing at all.
Yeah.
I've tried and I can't get through that movie for the life of me a second time. And then going to the second movie, I was just shocked at how poorly the script moved and how the characters kind of devolved. It was just so bad all around, outside of the pretty pictures. But of course, these aren't This kind of like Scorsese said whenever, this is a type of movie that's not really a movie in a traditional sense. It's a roller coaster ride. These Avatar movies are. They are rides that people will go out to because they get the glasses. They will not experience anything like this at home. So it makes sense to go watch this on a big screen. And you can't really hate it for that. But
Yeah.
I'm just sad that we won't get any more True Lies type movies from him, or Aliens or Terminators. We're just gonna get freaking Avatar
Abyss,
movies.
things
Abyss.
like yeah, and maybe he wants to go out. This is like his masterpiece, his swan song. But again, I wish he went out and did other things. The True Lies is honestly one of my favorites. Of course, that movie. Terminator 2 and all that, but that's my wife's favorite movie too.
So he wanted to have his own Star Wars. He has wanted to have his own Star Wars for 2 or 3 decades.
Wow.
And so Avatar is to him his universe, his Star Wars. Yep.
Wow. Okay. Well,
not my Star Wars. Not my Star Wars. I don't even have that anymore.
I know. Like, remember when Star Wars was special? You remember when you felt good when that movie or the trailer came out? What happened?
I said this after I went to MegaCon this last year. In one of my videos, I think it was my live, but they had the panel of different, celebrities there, and there was big lines every day. There was lines to get signatures, and there was one sad little corner of the MegaCon arena that had 3 or 4 actors from the Star Wars Skeleton Crew TV series with no lines at all. The only people over there were the kind of security MegaCon people with the batons, like, hang on, don't come any closer. Nobody's going over there, buddy. You're doing fine.
Wow.
I felt bad for these kids though, because it's not their, it's not their fault. They're in a Star Wars show that no one cares about because Star Wars has been so devalued over the last few years from Disney that just people can't muster up any excitement. It's just too bad. I almost got in line to meet one of them, but I didn't know any of them, so it would have been awkward. Like,
who are you? Like, I didn't even know the show you just named. What was it called?
The Skeleton Crew.
I don't know what that is. Again, I don't subscribe to Disney. I gave up on them after The Last Jedi, and of course it's a new Star Wars show. God damn.
Rudy, we are really going to be be friends.
We're hitting it off. I like you more than Cody.
Freaking bad. I hate that movie with every inch of my being. Skeleton Crew is supposed to be kind of like a Goonies for Star Wars. It's kind of a ragtag group of kids causing hijinks in space. It honestly didn't look terrible. I just don't care. And
and that's the problem. They won't look terrible. The effects are great. It's the story, the characters, and all the other like critical things you need. But Alex, real quick, thank you for the super chat. Thank you so much. Of course, super chats, guys. If you want to send me, I appreciate them. Thoughts on Black Phone 2? I have to admit, I didn't know they were making a part 2.
Yeah, of course they are, because the first one made some money, so they'll make a sequel no matter what.
Yeah, so I'll read up on it, but again, if it's the same crew, the same writer, I'm excited about it because again, I bought the original. I thought it was a great thriller. Ethan Hawke, the guy is constantly just amazing me what he does. Great performance, and again, I love the supernatural mystery thriller kind of take. So again,
I enjoyed it.
It was great. Let's see here. Freddie Fazbear. Okay. Have y'all seen any of the old Universal films from the 30s? Have you?
I have. I watched, I don't know if it was the 30s though. It might be 40s or 50s even. The Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah.
Anybody know when that came out? That might be newer than the 30s. But that's probably as far back as I've gone outside of the OG Nosferatu. Again, that might have been even pre-30s. When did Nosferatu come out?
From the Black Lagoon. That's 1954. The Creature from the Black Lagoon.
I knew Lagoon was a little newer. Okay, so Nosferatu was 1922. So I've even seen older than the 30s. I can't think of, like, I assume Frankenstein and maybe what the werewolf one. I don't know. I would imagine those are the ones.
My son and I, we found like the classic Universal movies, like a big book of DVDs at a thrift store, and we bought it. So we saw the original Frankenstein. We saw The Bride of Frankenstein, which is pretty horrible, by the way, because what you know of The Bride of Frankenstein, those images, is only the last 3 minutes of the movie. So the rest of the story is like, it's not even all that great. But the werewolf was actually my favorite of the old school movies.
The Wolfman?
The Wolfman, yeah. That was my favorite of the three. Very sympathetic story, very sad. And I like how they had that same theme with the one that came out in January. I'm like, oh, okay. So they keep along the same, like a tragic story is what they're doing.
You know what? I have seen a couple other ones. I'm just not sure the dates, or I don't actually know if the Blob, the original, is part of that whole creature universe thing. But the Blob is really good.
Yeah, that remake is really good. I love the remake
from the 80s. Yeah, that's good too. And the Invisible Man, which I don't know when that came out, but I have seen that.
Yeah.
Long ago, high school Adam watched some of the more refined, artsier stuff from the artsy, stuff that's old is artsy now.
Did you go to like a film school or something? Did you like to learn the movies, or you just had an interest in checking them out? I did go to film school. I took film class in a college, but I slept in my car most of the time and then failed out because I was 17 and kind of forced to go. My father had just passed the year before in a car accident. So it's like, let me go to college now and live my life. No, I was falling asleep listening to Jimmy Eat World albums in the car, depressed and emo, feeling bad for myself. But I very much was into film and just wrote a script myself, actually, that I haven't been pushing around at all. I need to get on the ball on that. But yeah, no, nice. I'm huge into movies. You want to give us like a little?
No,
nothing.
It's a comedy it's an action comedy, kind of in line with a Dodgeball or something to that style that they don't make anymore. Set in the mid 90s. Kind of a teens sort of a thing, kids being kids, really over the top, stupid, kind of like a Zoolander type of humor.
Oh, okay.
I'm very excited with it, but we'll see if we can get anybody that cares. It's not, for the people I know and have talked to, not really the genre that anyone's interested in these days. Netflix and a lot of those studios are really invested in based on true story docuseries. That's what they really want. If you have the rights to a scary or disturbing story, they will pick it up. It's even better if you can get like more into that. If they can do a movie off of it and a biography on it, and if they can kind of triple header this thing, they will absolutely love you for it.
Really?
But, yeah, that's a big thing that they're into.
Maybe I should try my hat in that and just see what happens, because I love horror movies. My wife, she watches every single, like I'll walk into the bedroom and I hear like, he put the bodies in a barrel. I'm like, what are you watching? Like, it's like all these murder mysteries or like these documentaries that you're talking about. So maybe I should try to do that. I don't know.
Give it a shot. What's the worst that could happen? Yeah, what's the worst that could happen?
Dark Room reviews. Thank you so much. I am done with Marvel shows. I haven't seen any of Daredevil or Punisher. Well, look, I've been on record to say that the Daredevil Netflix series is my favorite all-time comic book show. I grew up as a Daredevil. If you don't know, Adam, I grew up as a Daredevil fan between 88 and 91. And I love that the grittiness, the violence, the tone was all captured in that Netflix series. I'm like, yes, I loved it. I love the theme. I loved that it was serious. So I loved it. But as far as Disney taking over, I saw the first 2 episodes of Daredevil that just recently came out. And I just it broke my heart. I'm like, it's not the same. I know they're trying, but it's not for me. I need to go revisit it and watch the rest of the shows, but it just didn't land.
I don't think you do.
That bad, really?
No, I'm in the same boat as you. I watched the first 2 or 3 and I thought, okay, well, this is something. It helped, I think, that I hadn't seen the original run in a very long time. I went back and watched one, and man, is it night and day quality difference between those. It's just depressing. And so, why waste your time giving them the time of day watching it? Time is precious. And I'm not going to sit there watching some shout out Disney Plus show when they clearly didn't care to put the time into it. Why should I?
Damn it, Adam. We're going to get along just fine.
Yeah, we're going to be fine.
I had my doubts for a moment, but no, I am sold. I'm all yours, man. We're done. We're best friends.
Fully embraced.
Yeah. Yes. We're best friends now.
Good.
Again, The Punisher, I haven't seen it yet. I remember with John Berthal, I did enjoy the season 1, but again, anything related to Disney, Disney just has a bad taste in my mouth, especially what they've done with Star Wars and all these other franchises. I'm just
really everything at this point. It's sad. Like just remaking all of their classics as live action. It's just sad. It's just sad.
Yeah.
Because they're never better. At the best case scenario, they can be competently done, but why? It's clearly just for money and nothing else, and that at the end of the day is just soulless and unnecessary.
Yeah. It's just I want risks. Like the Joker was a
Yeah.
risk. Logan is a risk, but that pays off. I mean, we're talking Oscar
Mhm.
nominations.
Mhm.
I love those type of stories, and maybe it's because I'm older and I know life is fragile. I know all that stuff, and I just kind of want that type of tone in these movies because again, a lot of them do have that. But if it's just made for kids, I get that market. I totally understand it, but there should be an adult side to that. And again, it's just not for me because it just feels too bland and safe. Like
Yeah,
I'm
the
eating
thing.
a cereal that with no flavor.
Oh, exactly. The sad part is like, and I think that's why the cottage industry of bros on YouTube that make a bunch of I hate Disney videos,
Oh God.
it works because for them, not for me, but for them it works because there is a lot of us out there that do want to enjoy Disney still because we have so many great childhood memories. And so we're like frustrated that they can't seem to figure it out. I still take my family to Disney and
Mhm.
all the rides and everything is still cartoon. There's no live action redos at the theme park because the
Yeah.
kids still like the animated classics. And so it's like, why are you doing this? Just you don't even have to be edgy or different or that creative. Just make a damn new storyline that appeals to all ages. It's not that difficult, I don't think. But I guess what
Yeah.
do I know?
But
The Lion King live action made $2 billion, over 2 billion. So
why? And I heard it was horrible. I
fuck me.
heard.
Oh, it's horrible. It's
Yeah.
horrible. I
I don't know.
I don't know how Mufasa did, but I'm sure it did just fine.
Oh God.
Let me see.
Are you good on time, Adam? Do you have to go anywhere? I mean, if
I don't have. Yeah.
okay, if you're good, you're good. I don't want to run you off or anything like that. So if you're fine, you're fine. Straight Edge Knight. I like that. What's the best comic book trilogy for me? It's the Dark Knight trilogy. Ooh, now you're gonna have me think here. That's a good one. That is a good one. Again, I love Rises, and of course, the Dark Knight is a Dark Knight, but it's trilogies, man. My God. Whew. I'm gonna have to really think about it. You stumped me on there. I don't know. I guess my default answer would be the Batman, that particular trilogy, because it's isolated, no remakes. It's a well-contained story. It's grounded, and again, it's well told. It's well told. I can't really think of any. The Guardians trilogy is really good too. Again, I'm not the biggest MCU fan, but again, I love that those movies with the second one kind of being the weakest. It ended on a really good high note. What am I missing here? You have any insights on that? Any trilogies?
I would agree with you that Guardians is probably my favorite. I do like the Batman trilogy as well, even Rises, which gets a lot of crap, rightfully so at points. There's a lot of kind of nonsensical things in there.
The Spider-Man trilogy. Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, the third one is just,
the third one kind of blows it. Yeah,
the third one's been saved from the memes with Bully Maguire, but let's not kid ourselves. It was not well received when it hit theaters, and it was a big step down from what 2 provided. I would say X-Men was in the same boat. I really liked X-Men. I love X2. It's one of my favorite comic book movies. And then 3 is such a shit show.
That's
but
the
then,
Last Stand, I think, right?
The Last Stand, but then Singer came back and like saved all of it with the phenomenal Days of Future Past.
That's a great one.
Yeah, you can almost say the 4 X-Men movies kind of fit into that mold because you do have that really bad third, but then the fourth, it's required for the fourth one to work. So I think it's the only instance where a movie came back and completely saved the film that came before it, or at least put the movies back on course again.
Yeah, definitely. And it's not really spoken about as much anymore. People, I think, tend to forget it when they have rankings. And I know they're not part of the MCU, but again, still with the Marvel tag. But those are some really great stories. And again, I'll always go to Logan and being one of the best. And I was kind of pissed off when they didn't necessarily bring back that Logan, but to mock the grave of what, how that story ended. I didn't
Deadpool
like that.
3.
And so it is what it is. Anyway, but
Deadpool, I'm sure, is a favorite trilogy for a lot of people as well. Those are solid, fun films,
and they're true to the character. I mean, you're going to a Deadpool movie, and that's what you're experiencing. So yeah,
Deadpool 3 for me was fun, but it was kind of like Austin Powers 3, where it was just kind of a cameo fest, and the joke was nothing more than "Look who's here." There wasn't really comedy outside of that.
Yeah,
and that's only it's kind of surface level humor.
Yeah. And Sean, thank you for reminding me. How can I forget Snyder? I love Zack Snyder. I know the Rebel Moon. I wasn't a big fan of that. I was really pissed off. But Man of Steel, I love. BVS, I don't like the theatrical one, but the extended cut made a lot more sense. And the Justice League Snyder cut for me was one of my favorite films ever. I go on and rant about that all the time. And I know
the Snyder cut.
Yeah, I loved it.
Oh no! Now Rudy,
We're done?
The friendship is slipping. The friendship is shaky.
I can't. I have to be myself, man.
The Snyder cut is better than obviously the Whedon cut or the Warner Brothers cut, whatever. In some ways, but it's also like 4 hours long, and it has that stupid epilogue of bullshit tacked on. Oh my god! I watched it with my family, and when they were standing at the top of the dam, and they're all heroic, and the film fades out, we were all sitting on the couch. It's like, wow, this was good.
That was good.
Not bad at all. Outside of that really bizarre Martian Manhunter, talk about ruining some drama in a scene where he's dressed up as Martha. Like, what the fuck was that? But anyway, outside of that, I was like, okay, this was much better. And then it fades back up. Everything that follows that was so awful. Just so many masturbatory things for Snyder to get in that clearly were all done in post. Like, this was definitely all reshoot shit. And I just shook my head for 25 straight minutes. Like, why are we still going? This was good. So now I need like the Adam cut where I just cut off everything at the end there. And I cut off Martian Manhunter walking down the hallway. And then I think that movie is pretty damn great.
If I can rebuttal, because I know my audience is like knows that I'm like, we're just gonna say something. Like, yeah, I'm gonna say something. It should have ended where Clark looks up at the sky and he walks toward the camera and rips a shirt. Fade to black. Because there's like epilogue at the very end of just like the voiceover of Dyson telling his son like all these things. I think that's a perfect ending. And that's it. The last bit was, again, tacked on reshoots because, again, Zach said, I'm not going to get paid for this. Let me do what I want. So the little artistic freedom. That's where, again, I lost. I love the story. I love the segment. I love that we got a preview of that whole Joker and that whole futuristic idea of like that Mad Max whole like landscape. But it just didn't feel, it felt forced. Like he added it in. So I will say that. But I love the movie.
Completely removed from anything else.
Yeah, it's totally. And it's shot with that camera that you were talking about that he did with the Vegas movie. But I loved it still because, again, I Man of Steel, I was sold with the tone, and BVS, I love the story, especially with the extended edition. And this one, I feel that Batman finally had an arc. He returned to who he was. Everybody had an arc, and everyone's story was told to the best of the ability. I mean, again, everybody should have had their own movie, but I guess Warner Brothers said no. So I think they did the best they could with what they could, and that's a lot of story to jump in. And I know it's a lot for everybody, but for me, I love it. I've seen it like 5-6 times. I have it in every format.
Are you removed enough from the fanboyism to admit that the 4:3 aspect ratio is the dumbest fucking thing on the planet? Or are you all in on the 4:3 aspect ratio for no reason at all?
It doesn't hurt the experience or make it any better.
It's just bizarre. It's like, why? You made the previous movies. Why would you change the third one to be so,
Yeah. I think it's like the IMAX format is what it is. I could be wrong.
It's the IMAX format at home, which is let me put the movie that no one can watch in theaters and all have widescreen TVs in a 4:3 box ratio. It makes sense.
Yeah. And I know a lot of people complain about it, but there's like a button on the remote that you can just hit widescreen and it goes to the widescreen format.
The zoom in. Yeah.
The zoom in, and there you go.
Yeah.
Done, settled.
Yeah.
But I love it. I mean, you go back and watch any of my videos, like I got it in every format back there. And it's what I wanted. It's everything I wanted. We're not going to get the completion of the story, but it's everything I wanted.
I mean, I'm happy for you, Rudy, and I'm happy for other people that got this experience.
Thanks, man.
You know what? All I was thinking was, finally, the dumbass Snyder Bros are going to be done talking about this shit online. How wrong I was.
And truth be told, I am not those guys. I know. I'm not the toxic ones. Again, I think every group has a toxic piece in that, but they get out of hand, and I think it's just become like a trolling thing now.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know. But let's see here. Who's your favorite live action Batman? Mine's Christian Bale. Mine's Ben Affleck.
I'm a tried and true, I guess. I like Keaton.
Keaton's good.
I like Michael. Bale, I thought was the weakest element of the Nolan trilogy. Those movies really stood on the villains, I thought, more than the heroes. He was fine. He was fine. I didn't really, the kind of like
The fighting
Keaton had the no turn of the neck, which was kind of cool with his character, but Bale had the open mouth all the time. Like, where's Rachel? Where is she? And it got a little
Where are the
silly.
drugs going?
Don't lie to me. Like, this voice isn't scary. It's just kind of annoying.
Yeah. At the time, it was great. And again, in hindsight, you watch it again, the fighting doesn't really kind of like sell anymore. The voice does get kind of, what's all the elbows and twists and things like that? Like, what's going on? I know it's a style, and that just shows my negligence and like I don't know what they're talking about, but it's like,
I like those movies. I don't care. They're awesome.
Yeah.
Even with the silly stuff.
But I do like
some of that.
The warehouse scene in BVS, I think, is like the best like fight scene in Batman. Like, that's fucking awesome.
That's so good. It was the last good thing Snyder ever did, and it was such a good scene.
We were getting along so goddamn well.
God, I just remember when they released the first trailer for BVS, and you got the Batmobiles like, and it smashes into the side of Superman. I'm like, oh shit, this is good. It looks good. And then they released that warehouse scene. It's like, oh my god, I'm having a nerdgasm. This is so good. And then they foolishly released that second trailer where Doomsday or whatever the hell his name was drops down. He looks like a giant Ninja Turtle. And then Wonder Woman's there with her own theme music that no one knows. Oh, not only did it ruin everything, it also just like, what? Why is this in the movie? I thought this was Batman v Superman. Now you know exactly where this movie is going to go. Yep. They're going to team up. And it was just a shit show. But that warehouse fight is awesome.
Yeah. And since that moment, I will only watch the teaser trailer. I won't watch anything else. Like, I saw the extended thing with Superman because Sean said it wasn't anything new. It was just kind of a little bit of the extension of that, what we saw. But I don't watch the second trailer, third trailer anymore. I just watch the teaser and that's it.
Yeah.
I stay away from social media. I don't do reactions. That's just for my benefit.
Yeah. No, I agree. Again, the fact that there's 30 minutes of trailers before movies pisses me off, and I will just pace outside of the theater and check back in every once in a while to see if it started yet, because I just refuse to sit for that long and to watch the same. I've seen parts of that drop trailer like I think 60 times now at the theaters. I hate the trailer. I don't want to hear the phone going every time. Annoying as hell.
That effect was actually pretty good the way you did that. That sounded good.
Yeah, I do a lot of sound effects on my. I don't know why I just do sound effects.
That was actually pretty good.
Yeah, thank you.
Now you know what? I'll answer this question. Now, who's the best Bruce Wayne? In my opinion, it was Val Kilmer. He was the best one. I like the charisma, the charm that he had. It was completely different. And I know Bale would maybe be a second, but best Bruce Wayne for me was Val Kilmer.
I like Kilmer. I'm really thinking this over. I'm like, is it George Clooney? Yeah, it's probably George Clooney. No, I go with Keaton on that too. I just love Keaton as an actor, and I think he's just. It's all about the lips for me, dude. He's got that little bump in the lips that just it just really sells me. I did like Kilmer. Unfortunately, he's part of a movie that really pissed me off because it didn't keep going with the Tim Burton thing that I was on board with. And I mean, I saw that shit in theaters. So I was just really bummed out that we got this Joel Schumacher light show going on with all basically Schumacher was doing what every YouTuber in 2025 does with their backgrounds now with all the neon lights. He was there first. He was the guy that championed.
I will give him that. Yeah. That's true. That is true.
Which one had the hockey scene with Robin? Was that Batman and Robin?
That was Batman and Robin, like with Mr. Freeze. Yeah.
Chill.
Cool. I think I walked out of that. That's the first movie I've ever walked out of.
I just walked out of
this is the stupidest shit I've ever seen.
I just walked out of A Working Man, the Jason Statham movie.
You were mentioning that earlier.
Yeah, I had like 15 minutes left. And I was like, I know where this is going. I'm over it. I'm done. Yeah. And then people were like, well, your review is going to be bullshit. I can't take anything you say. Like, really? I have to sit through 2 hours to tell you what I thought of this movie because I didn't see the last 15 minutes. So out of spite, I saw that dumb Mickey Mouse Steamboat Willie movie was playing Screamboat at 6:25. and A
Oh my
Working
God.
Man was playing at 4:25. And so I thought, oh, well, shit, that movie's going to end right when Screamboat starts. So I'll just go catch the last 15 minutes of stupid A Working Man. So I did actually finish the movie the next night.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Because I'm petty like that. Like, well, fuck you. I watched it all now. The joke somehow not on me?
Yeah. What do you think about that, motherfucker?
Yeah, exactly. Person I'll never see again on the internet.
Random person.
Random, probably like 13-year-old that's trolling me. Yeah.
Man, being on YouTube's crazy, right? I mean, just the reach you get. And again, 14 years at work, man. And again, I applaud that you didn't quit. Most people would. I mean, if they don't, what?
I can't believe you're still doing this. It's amazing.
No. I mean, it's you're doing what you love, is what I mean.
Yeah.
You're doing what you love, and you're talking about what you want to talk about. And most people are just so numbers driven. Like if they don't reach a certain amount of subs or something, they just, I'm done, or views. It's not about that. It's about doing what you love and having fun doing it. I think if it becomes a chore or job, it takes the passion away. And there have been some moments where I've been in that space and I walked away for a month or two, but I always come back to it, man.
Yeah, it's just it's a passion project and a hobby that's turned into a second job for me now.
Yeah.
But again, it's not my full-time job. I always say that to people. I have the luxury of not having to kind of placate to the masses or pretend I like something that I don't, or I can say, hey, fuck you. This movie was not for. I didn't like Nosferatu. I don't care if it has 90% Rotten Tomatoes. I thought it was boring bullshit. Hey, I didn't like Godzilla -1. Come at me, guys. Come at me, and they did. They all did. And
and I think like I said, that's the first time I ever found you. Like, who's this guy? And I think I left a comment on there. I mean, I think I said something to the effect like, I get criticisms, but I need to know why you hated it. Like, I get that, but why?
It wasn't even hate. It was just I didn't like it. It wasn't like I despised the movie. I actually pointed out several positives about the film in my review. But I watched that movie with a buddy who drove down from, he drove a couple hours to go to it. We were really pumped to see this movie. We're not like big Godzilla fans. We don't follow the lineage and the lore of all these old films. And I guess that was my mistake, was thinking that there was a subset of people on the internet that would watch my review that also were just regular folks. But no, this video literally went out to just the big followers, because I saw it early and didn't realize it at the time. Oh, wow. But anyway, we went to it and we were both just like bored to tears. We did not like the characters at all, the lead characters. And I just found it unlikable, and he didn't really grow until the end, and it became super cliche at the end when like, I already saw this fucking movie. It was called Independence Day. He flew into the mothership and self-sacrificed. Great, we're doing it again. But then they copped out on that too and didn't even give him that, thing. And everything was just, it was trying to be serious, but then it also had this silly, dumb shit going on constantly. And so it was kind of at odds with itself. And I was just sitting here going, fuck, where are we going with this movie? And my buddy hated it more than I did. He was just like, oh God. I'm like, dude, calm down. It's not that bad. Yeah.
And I can say, I think you're the only guy I know who didn't like it. I'm sure there's other critics out there who didn't like it, but I think you're the only one. I mean, I went with my daughter, and we love foreign films. So I think a lot of people, I'm not saying this happened to you, I think a lot of people were put off with the subtitles. I love movies from overseas. I think they have more soul and strength, and
they do.
There's like more of the human spirit in them, and I connect with the characters more when I don't know why. But yeah, I teared up in that movie. I'm not ashamed to admit I cried in that movie, especially with the kid, the little baby thinking the mom died, and all those things. So it was really a touching movie for me, a very human story. But again, with for the first time in, I think, in any Godzilla movie, and again, I'm not an expert, please, I'm not that, but he felt like a force, like of evil. Like I was actually kind of like scared when the music started, like, holy shit, like, this is kind of scary. But I enjoyed it.
It started out with some strengths. I thought visually it was very good looking. The boat scene was fantastic. There's plenty of moments that I really dug, but there was so many lulls in between kind of the highlights. And when you're not on board with the characters at all, it's just, the movie's not going to work for you. And that's why it didn't work for me. Ultimately was this relationship was too cold and too, I guess, foreign for me to understand where they were coming from. Because, you know, yes, I understand he was a kamikaze pilot. He didn't want to do it. I'm right there with you, bud. I wouldn't want to do it either and give into the propaganda. But then he's feeling bad about it. And he's getting down on himself. But then let's get past it. And that's where he lost me. He never really gets past it. And there's just a lot of kind of redundant scenes over and over. After I got done watching, I went to Target to get some stuff, and I ran into a couple other people that knew me, and they're like, "Hey, what'd you go to?" I said, "Godzilla -1." Like, "Oh, how was it?" I was like, "Ugh, I didn't like it. I didn't like it." And I'm off the internet way more than a lot of other critics are, because I do have a full-time job and whatnot. So I'm not like constantly looking at things. So I had no idea that there was buzz around this movie, or that it was 100% on Rotten Tomatoes with like, keep in mind, at the time it had like 10 reviews. This is not like there's not hundreds of people loving this yet, critics wise.
Gotcha.
And so when I put my negative one in there and I dropped it down to like 98% or something, that's when people got pissed. Like, he's doing this for the views. He ruined the Godzilla store.
He's trolling. I think I saw
man.
those in your comments and things like that. So
yeah, it's like I know I just don't like it. It's not the end of the world. Who gives a fuck? It's still at 98%.
Yeah.
Yes, I was one of the only, I guess, critics that didn't care for it. I think Roper or whatever also didn't like it. But this, even though it did well and it sold well, that's relatively speaking to its budget. It's not like it's a globally popular movie. So I tried showing it to my wife and kids who like Godzilla movies. They couldn't get into it. They shut it off after like 15 minutes. So I was going to try to rewatch, but my family would not watch it. And I know a lot of I shouldn't say normal, but, you know, basic folks that don't live and breathe Godzilla that would not like this movie. And it's just, it's catered to a certain audience. And no, it's not because it's foreign or subtitles. The Host is a favorite of mine. I love that movie. It's brilliant.
That's a great one.
And that movie, I think, strikes a great balance between the serious stuff and the silly stuff. And as the film goes on, we do have a hero's journey that really does come complete. The bumbling son and brother who is constantly falling over and, you know, pratfalling and whatnot. He's doing all the wrong things, kind of becomes the hero of the picture. And it's a powerful yet fun yet quirky film. And I love it.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? My favorite movie from last year was the Brazilian film I'm Still Here, which I just rewatched with my wife, and she cried like 3 times. So it's a beautiful movie.
I'll check that out. I'm Still Here. Okay.
I'm Still Here. It was up for a couple of Oscars, actually. Best Actress, which she should have won. And I don't know if it was up for Best Writing or I'm not sure. But yeah, very good movie.
Okay. I got a few comments here. I want to kind of run through these real quick. Sean, you have a few of them. Favorite Ernest movie? Mine is Eric Goes to Jail because it's evil Ernest. I know of them. I grew up. They were all over the place. They were like the those Tyler Perry movies that you see with the dresses up as a woman. It was kind of the same thing.
Or whatever.
They come out every year. I never was a fan of Ernest. I just thought it was dumb. But again, I'm not dogging anybody who is a fan of them. It just wasn't for me. You? No?
Ernest Scared Stupid. Just
okay.
Yeah. It's kind of scary when I was a kid.
Have you seen Boogie Nights? Yes, it is one of my favorites as well. I was actually going to see that sometime this week. Paul Thomas Anderson, I think, is the director. I think that's his name, or the other guy. I think that's his name. But the other movie he did is There Will Be Blood, and that's a movie that I whenever it's on, I just stop and I
love that movie. Very good.
I love that movie. Great movie. But yeah, Boogie Nights is amazing. I love that movie as well.
Yeah.
Let's see here, and to get to you and debate Joker 2. No. We're not gonna. We talked about that already off screen.
I made a joke about liking Joker 2, thinking that the panel would laugh with me, and like half of them were stone faced. And I thought, what the fuck did I stumble into? You guys actually, you guys like this movie? I was joking. We'll leave it at that. But,
we'll leave it at that. I enjoyed it. I even did a whole live on it. But that we're not going to go there because again, this might get heated.
So it was like a reverse Godzilla -1. Most people hated Joker 2.
Of course, I've seen War Games. War Games is a great film.
Matthew Broderick.
Yeah, the old school one.
Yeah, with the monkey.
No, that's Project X.
Oh, that's Project X.
You're way off, dude. This is the one where he plays video games. Remember?
I should have stopped at Matthew Broderick. I was batting 1,000.
You were, man. You were. But yeah, it's the one where he's a hacker and he hacks into, I guess, the Pentagon and he launches missiles. All that. Yeah, that's a great one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that. Any other ones? Thoughts on Dazed and Confused? I need to see it again. I know it's a coming of age film. I think every one of us loves those type of periods when you're going from childhood to adulthood and making choices for yourself. I know it was made in San Antonio, where I'm from, so or Austin, but I have to revisit it. It's a classic though. I remember when I saw it when I was younger. It really it stuck with me. It's one of those good films.
That's my favorite, or I should say one of my least favorite, you would call it a subgenre of film, are stoner comedies. I don't know if Dazed and Confused falls into that. I imagine it does, but I just never really had any interest in watching it, even though I've heard it's really good. So I do need to give it a chance, but I do not care for stoner comedies.
Yeah, well, I love the Cheech and Chong one, so I guess that's our disconnect right there.
Well, another disconnect is the wheels are really coming off as this goes on.
I know. We should have quit while we're ahead. So we were talking about in the conversation before, and again, please send your questions, guys. Super chats are always appreciated, so we'll get to them ASAP. But we were talking about favorite directors and favorite actors. But favorite director, you said yours was Spielberg, right?
Spielberg's my favorite director, but you said Fincher, correct?
Yeah.
And I was very much in agreement with you, and I think I kind of, made a good point that he hasn't done anything of note in 15 years, and I didn't hear much pushback from the panel at the time.
Yeah, The Assassin, was that what it was called? With that, The Killer, I think it was
Killer, and that was mediocre at best.
Yeah, it was okay. It wasn't all that great, but Zodiac, in my opinion, is in my top 5 films of all time.
It's brilliant. Yeah, it's great. The more you watch it, the better it gets. I think its biggest issue was the trailers at the time, and maybe that was just the perception of the audience, was that it was going to be more about the Zodiac, but it's actually about the detectives and the people that were ruined by going after this asshole. And that's what's really fascinating about the film.
Yeah, and becoming obsessed with trying to find out who it is. And I think there's like 3 protagonists in this film. There's Jake Gyllenhaal, there's Robert Downey Jr., and then there's the Hulk. I forget his name.
Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah, it's 3 people that are just kind of like involved in it. And the story is done well. Everybody, you understand what's going on. And I loved it. And it just shows the acting chops. This is, of course, pre-MCU, where you got Robert Downey Jr. and Ruffalo. They're amazing in this film.
Oh, yeah. Everybody's amazing. Isn't Pa Kent in it, too, from the new Superman? Isn't he the supposed Zodiac at the end?
No. It's some other actor. It's the actor from, I don't know if you've seen that John Cusack movie from Identity, where he moves his eye a lot.
Yeah. Oh, I thought that was the guy that was Pa Kent. Is that someone else?
That is Pa Kent. That is Pa Kent, but not the actor who was the Zodiac. That's something Carroll.
Oh, really? Oh my God.
It's 2 different actors.
It's another heavy fat. Oh, you know what? It's the guy from, I think he was on the Drew Carey show.
I never saw Drew Carey.
I think he was Drew Carey's brother on that show. That's a really weird pull. And I didn't really even like the Drew Carey show.
Thank you, Joey. John Carroll Lynch.
Okay.
That's the guy who played the Zodiac.
Carroll Lynch, Drew Carey show.
He also played I don't know if you've seen American Horror Story. He played Twisty the Clown, I think.
He is from the Drew Carey show. I was somewhat saved, I guess.
There you go. But yeah, David Fincher, The Game is great. Seven, of course, is great.
The Game is
I love Mindhunter, and I'm glad they finally renewed it for season 3.
I couldn't get into Mindhunter. I tried it. I know. I tried it 2, maybe 3 separate occasions. I got past the first episode, which I found to be kind of a chore. And then I don't think I ever pushed past 2.
Oh man, that's a great show.
I know, I have to, but that means I have to start it again.
Yeah. I just love those films dealing with, I think the scariest monster, and I'm getting a little deep here. The scariest monster, I think, is the human mind, and how dark we can get, and how torturous things we can do to each other. And I love that it takes a realistic take on it. Like Silence of the Lambs is one of my favorite films as well.
Great film.
Yeah. I just love the psychology of it, and just the mind games, and just, of course, the brutality of it. I love that type of film.
Well, I celebrate anything Jodie Foster's in, if I'm going to be honest with you. I love Jodie Foster.
Yeah. And Troy, good to see you, man. A familiar face. Yeah. I heard on Twitter, I thought it was a April Fool's joke. And I looked into it. Yeah, they did. So I'm really excited about that. Gone Girl, of course, that's a great film as well. Yeah, that's a Fincher film.
I know. I intentionally didn't bring it up.
Oh God,
that's one that I don't care for from him. and it's not his fault. The direction's fine. It's just I didn't like the story and the twists taking place halfway through the film, and now I'm just watching a couple unlikable people for the rest of the movie. It just it felt like it kind of lost itself. But I know it's based on a book. He also did The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, which
I like that one as well.
Which was really good. I read the book, so there was no surprises for me at all, which was kind of a bummer because it's one of the few movies where it really is all leading up to who the killer is.
Yeah.
Although, to be fair, like throwing Skarsgård in a black turtleneck might have been the most obvious, killer I've ever seen in my life. He was so creepy. What's that sound in the basement? Oh, it's nothing. Enjoy the wine. I'm a normal person. Troy McClure, he's a familiar from my channel as well. Nice.
Yeah. What to call it? Maybe he's followed you forever. I don't know, but I know since I hooked up with the Autop stream, he's been around. So
okay,
awesome,
cool.
Man.
Crossover. But, I see a couple people from my channel in here. It's nice. Make sure to sub to how do you say? Is it Gen X? Is that
Gen X Reviews? Yeah,
Gen X Reviews. Make sure to sub if you're here for my
channel.
Yeah,
I'm almost at the 10,000 mark. So once I hit the 10,000, I will do a shirtless live.
We got to get you there.
We're almost there. We're almost there.
Okay.
And again, let me ask you this as a fellow YouTuber.
Yes.
And again, congrats to your success. You're doing amazing and all that stuff, man. But
thanks.
Do you ever get, how do I say this? Do you ever find it like a tough time getting the passion to talk about like Snow White or something like that? Because for me, sometimes I don't. That's why I go like a couple months without a review, and I get some people have like a business and an algorithm they have to keep producing. But for me, sometimes I just go in this stagnant space where like, what do I want to talk about? And that's why I produced, I went in on this David Lynch, we talked about it earlier. I just discovered, I knew of David Lynch. I guess I wasn't mature enough when I was younger to understand it or maybe have that mind, but I get what he's doing. I love the fact that this guy, he really wants to dive into the psyche of fractured minds, and he tries his best to translate it on film. And I know that may seem odd and just like disconnected to people, but I get it, what he's trying to say. And that's why I put up like a video essay. I think it's my first video essay that I've done on a Lynchian horror. So for me, I had passion again. I was excited about it. I'm like, yes, I'm talking about something I love. Do you ever get into that mode? Like what do I want to talk about? I don't want to talk about this right now.
Yeah, I do, obviously, as I've been doing this for a long time, but I've kind of used movies that are boring or piss me off or whatever as a challenge to really try to go all out for it. The ones that are so boring, because how I look at it is I want to entertain people with my reviews. It's always entertain first, review second for me, because there's so many other movie channels out there, and it's like you said at the onset, what's your niche? Yeah. Well, it's always just been kind of screwing around and having fun and talking to folks in a like over the top way that I find is kind of funny. So that's what I try to bring forth in my reviews. But yeah, just last week I was on vacation, so I missed a week of both work and this job, YouTube, which means I had a lot of catch up to do. And of course, I got sick on the drive home, so that put me out a few more days. And so every day I'm laying in bed sick and miserable. I'm in my head, like getting upset and nervous and worried, like because when you don't post content on YouTube now, your revenue goes down, your engagement goes down in the next video because people forget just like that, and YouTube's not going to showcase you. And so, yeah, it does get nerve-wracking and stressful, and it does come through in those videos because I found myself at the theater like 4 times in 2 days watching a bunch of shit that I didn't like, and then I had to go home at like 11 at night and review it, and then get up at 6 to do my real job. And so, yeah, it's a lot, and it weighs you down when you get behind. And so for sure, last week was really rough on the channel, and my reviews did definitely suffer because of it. And a couple people even called me out in the comments saying, like,
really?
Yeah, hey, it seems like you're not in it, or, whatever. And yeah, it sucks because you always want to, I always want to make a video that I'm proud of. And, obviously you can do more every video. It's never going to be like this great thing because it's churn and burn on YouTube. But the fact that you're finding outlets to like express yourself with, this newfound love for the director, that's awesome. And that's the kind of thing you have to do, is you have to just keep testing the waters for how you can kind of differentiate yourself from the different YouTubers out there, and not just be another I'm ranking all these movies now, or this is the best and worst of that, or this is, it gets kind of boring and stagnant. And the truth is, these guys are doing it better because they've been doing it longer. So why try to jump into an already oversaturated market? Find your groove.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah. And again, thanks for sharing that, man. I really do appreciate that, because again, for me, it's always fun. And there's sometimes I'm just filming and I just don't have it in me. And I admire that. Like, for example, you, like the videos that I've seen, you bring an energy. And I know that's not easy, especially after a long day at work. You hit record and you're bringing like this consistent level of energy. I'm like, wow. So I applaud you, man. That's like
when I was sick, it is seriously like,
yeah.
Hey, welcome to the show. Like, kill me. Yeah.
So yeah, like for me, like I just have a difficult time finding something to really want to talk about with a passion. Because again, I do want a video to not only do well, but I want to give everybody my best. And I feel like every video, wow, there's some opportunities you can make better, but it is the best that I can do at the time. And again, I hope people catch it and all that, but I do struggle sometimes with just the passion of like, I don't want to go see Snow White, but I have to, because that's what the algorithm is sharing. But I don't want to go see it. There's so many other things I could be doing right now, but like, oh God, but I go through those little battles from time to time.
Yeah. I hear you. I do too. It's like, I don't want to feel like work. That's the problem is, I don't want to drive a half hour to watch a 2-hour movie that I know I'm probably not going to enjoy very much and drive a half hour back. I've wasted 5 hours almost with trailers and everything. And then I have to talk about this shit. Yeah, but that's where you just kind of have to challenge yourself with it. Like if you're choosing to go and watch all the new blockbusters and popular movies that come out, and if you're going to play that game and that route, then you got to find like a way to do it that's bringing you some joy and it's also entertaining for other people. And I mean, for me, it's just. For me, it's the whole expressing of my thoughts on the film and just how I can kind of paint a picture for people that probably won't even go see the movie because they don't care about it. But you can just have fun with it at the end of the day. You're huge into Superman. If you can find a way to harness that even more and maybe do a deep dive into Superman lore. Maybe you have. I don't know. I haven't poked around enough on your channel to see, but
I have, and I'm waiting for the movie to, like, sometime around after we do the 31 and 31. That's when I want to do. I'm going to be filming that same month, like Superman reviews, and kind of do like I'm going to rip off the Cody formula where I'm just going to interview. I'm going to do a review for each movie, then do a ranking at the end after I've seen the movie. So that seems to work. But here, Adam uses his infinite. Yeah, Adam uses his infinite wisdom.
Yes.
To put entertainment first, then drops knowledge. Some call that adultainment or
adultainment, sure, I suppose. Yeah. It's a thing that I guess I do that. I didn't even know I did that, but sure.
Joey, you've been doing great. Really, thank you. And trust me, nobody wants to suffer through Snow White. Thanks, Joey. I appreciate that, man. Yeah. But I don't know if you know this, but I have another channel, Root Advice. Like I said, I went through a divorce and all that, and I started sharing advice on TikTok a while back. 2020 actually, and things went really viral for me over there. So
nice.
I just share advice about how to get over heartbreak and just go through, if you're going through tough moments, this is what I did. A lot of people connected to it. So I had like 300K on TikTok, 150K on Facebook. So that platform is going great. So that genre is great. But this, I always come back to
the hell are you doing here?
Well, that's technically my second job. Like you said, that's technically my second job. I got a business manager, a website, counseling service, all that, and coaching. So that takes a lot of my time, but this is where I come home to when I want to have fun.
Yes.
This is like where my heart's in it. And this is what I like, talking to people, talking to you, talking to people on the live. Yeah. This is where I come to have fun and kind of let loose.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's good to have that outlet, and building up a community is like the most rewarding thing ever. I'm sure.
Isn't it?
Well, yeah. I'm sure you, especially being on the counseling side of things, but you get those comments that 2 days ago, I had a comment that was like, hey, I was diagnosed with something pretty awful. But I started watching your show right after I found you, and it's been amazing. It's got me through tough times. For someone like you that does more of that style of thing, I'm sure you get those comments constantly.
Dude, I'm not going to lie. Like I said, I'm 48 and I don't care about admitting that I cry. Yeah. But there are times there's been 11 men who said they were on the verge of, I don't want to say the word.
Yeah. Right.
But they saw some of my videos or my lives on TikTok and they changed their mind. And they
That's
message me and tell me that. And I cry.
Yeah.
When I hear that. It's amazing what you think, that's just a video. It's just a review. It's nothing. But to somebody out there who's going through something dark and just needs a distraction, or maybe just needs to be entertained, or hear somebody else share some experiences, it really connects to people. And as a creator, for me, there's nothing more fulfilling than giving general advice, putting a good message out there and changing people's lives for the better. There's nothing better.
Right.
Nothing whatsoever, man. Are you still good on time?
I don't give a shit. Yeah. My wife
we're gonna get along fine, man.
My wife is held up in the bedroom dying. She's still got whatever cold I am just getting over. So my wife has Crohn's disease, which does not have a cure, which is a miserable disease. So she has to be on medication, which gives her no immunity. Her immune system's shot. And so if she gets any sort of cold, it's going to knock her out for possibly weeks. And so I feel bad, but also I didn't get any sleep last night because she woke up at like 2 a.m. coughing loudly. I'm like, oh my God, why? So I grab my pillow and I
go downstairs.
Stop downstairs.
I'm the same way. I'm the same way sometimes. Yeah. My wife has autoimmune.
Okay.
So when she gets sick, it's like not as devastating, but it really takes her longer to recover.
Yep.
And all that stuff. So yeah,
good stuff.
We have so much in common, dude. Like
we're really living the high life over here, aren't we? We're living the dream. Living the dream.
Living the big dream.
Yeah.
I think what time is it?
We're high school sweethearts. So it's I didn't get anything. I didn't get the doctor's note back then that she was going to have this issue to come. It's just that comes with the territory of marriage.
Yeah, things come up. Yeah, that's absolutely right, man. Yep. And it's great that you guys can adapt to that. There's people that will see that as an obstacle and leave.
No.
Yeah, I hear that all the time, man. All the time. What is it? 10:31. I think I'll end the live at 11. So we got another 30 minutes. But let's get to a few more questions again.
Where are you at?
I'm in San Antonio, Texas.
Nice.
You?
I'm in South Carolina.
Oh, okay. Nice. Very nice.
I'll be in Minnesota though at the end of May. Where I'm moving back. That's where I'm from.
Where?
Minnesota.
Minnesota. All right. Very cool. Go Vikings, right?
Yeah, I guess.
And you know what, guys? I'm so sorry.
Never go to the Super Bowl.
There you go. Sean and Alex, the super chat you gave me earlier. I'm sorry. I usually do this and I totally forgot. I didn't give you the sound bites. So hold on 1 second. Where did it go?
You're pretty good.
Thank you, guys. I usually give them a sound bite whenever I get a super chat. So did y'all enjoy the Godfather movies, and are they too slow for you? I'll go first. Yes, I enjoy them. I enjoy them with a passion. They were my dad's favorite movies, and I grew up with them. And as I got older, I started understanding the plot a little bit more. Now, part 3, it's kind of like a well-known that everybody said it's the weakest, and it is the weakest. But it's still an okay story, and it's got an ending that always brings me to tears. Especially, it's a tragic ending for Michael Corleone. But I love the movies. I don't think they're slow. I prefer those types of movies. I am in no hurry. I have the old school attention span. I know a lot of people may not nowadays, especially with 20-second TikToks and all these things. But for me, they're fine. I like slow burns. I can sit through that. So you?
Yeah, I just rewatched the first Godfather. I haven't seen them since high school, and I was getting a couple of them mixed together. I was worried watching it that it was not going to hold up. It was going to be too slow, whatever. It's fantastic. It's still really good. The second one I'm excited to rewatch, and the third one I have never seen. I have always been scared to watch it. I heard bad things from a lot of people. I heard some okay things from others. I've owned it on DVD for like 25 years. I just never put it in the DVD player. Because it came out, I think, in the early 90s. Is that right?
90 or 89 is when it came out.
Because the first two are for like 72 and 74 or something like that. So they're just a couple years apart. But that third one is a good 12, 15 years later.
Yeah.
And that's always trouble. Except for Maverick. I think Maverick is the only exception to that rule. But that's kind of a soft, let's be honest, it's kind of a soft reboot of the first movie, which I'm not huge on the first Top Gun. I love Maverick. I think Maverick did it right. Yeah,
that was an amazing movie. It was like, I think one of the first big theater experiences I think everybody had after COVID.
Yeah.
And it was just so nice to go to the movies and experience that nostalgia, but that great story as well. So there you go. There's the answer for that. You were expecting Alex. I forgot about that. I'm sorry. I've been hosting, so I play a moan here. So just FYI, whenever I'm in a good mood. There you go. So there you go, Alex.
Is that a moan? It's more like a full body convulsion.
Yeah, I play it randomly just to kind of freak people out and get them in trouble. Like I'll get a comment like, "Dude, my parents in the other room. You got me in trouble." I'm like, "I'm sorry." Troy. Okay. By the way, this 31 looks like a banger. Curious to see where the more hood movies place. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't seem like the most of the odd top would have grown up with these. Well, I did. I grew up with them. They're going to be up there. But like I said earlier, like this is the first time me being on the 31 that there's no shit movies. There's usually shit movies and that I don't like, and I know right away they're going to be in the 31. But all of these movies are good. I mean, to their own extent, they're time capsules of the 90s. They came out, they're relevant, but there's not one bad movie at all in this list. So I'm gonna have a really difficult time selecting 31.
From what I've seen, yeah, I think I haven't seen 7 of the movies on the list, and so I'll be curious how they are. But I have to rewatch pretty much all of them, which is going to be over 100 hours of footage to go through.
I know. I mean, because these are like 3-hour epics, and I think
so
the
long.
Irishman is like 8 hours. Like it's longer than the Snyder Cut.
Oh, that might be the only one I don't rewatch is The Irishman. It was I enjoyed it, but God, I don't know if I could sit through that again.
Yeah, Cody will have Boys in the Hood. Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, we'll see about that. Hey, that was a John Singleton movie. I remember it was relevant. The gangs were all a big deal in my area, and yeah, it is what it is. But again, it's a time capsule of the early 90s. So again, I love those movies. I don't know where they'll rank. I know where my top 5 is. I know for sure what that is, but there's not a bad movie. There's not one bad movie in this list, in my humble opinion.
What was that shitty? I was gonna make a joke, but I can't remember the name of it. Even the incomparable film, something Squad, like Goon Squad, or someone in the chat. Someone on the chat will know. I think Baby Goose is in it. Ryan Gosling is in it.
This is a gangster movie.
Gangster Squad. That's what it's called. Gangster Squad. Yeah, you haven't seen it?
No.
Oh, it's terrible. It came out in, I want to say, the early 2000s. Gangster Squad. It's really bad. I think Emma Stone is in it. It's got like a bunch of big names. Yeah, Ryan Gosling, Sean Penn, Josh Brolin, Emma Stone, Nick Nolte, Giovanni Ribisi, Michael Pena, Anthony Mackie, Robert Patrick. Like it's a star-studded cast in a shit-ass film.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me check. Oh, the Gangster Squad 20.
When did it come out? When did that come out?
It says 2013.
Oh God, it's even newer than I remembered. Jesus.
Yeah, I think that you know what? I do remember that film. I have never seen it, but I do remember that film.
It's atrocious.
Yeah. Let's see here. Hold on. I think I missed the first part. And Once Upon a Time in America is 4 hours. Yes,
I have not seen that. I have not seen that film.
Oh God. Yeah, I gotta get watching. I've seen them all, so I know there's a few of them, and I've seen them like numerous times. So there's a few that I'm gonna skip, but that one I have not seen because I know there's a director's cut, but I hear it's great. So I really need to get on the ball like ASAP.
Have you watched any of them yet?
Well, like I said, I've seen them all. Like
no, I know, but have you rewatched any of them yet? No. Okay, I've only watched Godfather again, and my deadline is before yours because
because you got to move and all that.
Because this place will probably be empty by mid-May.
Yeah, and speaking of which, I'm moving my office to a room upstairs, so everything's going to look different. I'll have more colors from Batman Forever, but I got to move upstairs, and this is going to be my son's room, so we're switching. So
nice.
I'm going to be moving as well, and that's always a pain in the ass.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. My top 3 are Boys in the Hood, Scarface, and The Departed. Those are all good. That's my point.
They're all good. Yeah,
I wouldn't know how to rank them because they're all good. I mean, Scarface is one of the best movies ever. I mean, it's just well acted, and I love Pacino in that because it's funny. Like, there's some actors that when they're in a role, I don't recognize them. That's Michael Corleone as Scarface, but I don't see Al Pacino. I see Tony Montana. He's that
okay. Yeah, he's.
Want to play rough?
Okay. Say hello to a hillman.
Yeah,
it's so funny rewatching Godfather. I didn't know he does not look like Al Pacino,
right?
In Godfather, who is this guy? What was he, like 18 in this film? This is insane.
He's that good of an actor, and I think we're also doing Heat, right? We're doing Heat as well.
Yeah, that's the one that I kind of was like, this is more of a heist film, but I'm cool with it because Heat is fantastic. So yeah, we got like 4 or 5 Pacino movies on this list, which makes sense. There's probably 5 De Niro movies on here too.
Carlito's Way is also really good as well. I mean, again, it's gonna be.
Oh, you got
the toughest ranking.
Casino's in here.
Yes!
I love Casino. The Untouchables. A lot. Snatch is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Snatch.
Yeah.
Very excited for that.
Yeah, that movie I can quote like left and right, man. That movie's awesome. But yeah, this is gonna be a chore. This is going to be a chore to watch all these movies, but again, it's going to be difficult for me to rank them because they're just so good.
Yeah,
they're so good. I think we touched on this. Favorite Batman movie? Mine Begins or Dark Knight. Okay, so the first one, Batman Begins or Dark Knight. You want to go first on this?
No. Well, the Dark Knight is better than Begins. I think Begins is actually on one of the lower ends of the Batman spectrum.
Yeah.
That one's not even close to my favorite. I didn't like the orange color grading that they did on it. Felt weird. The villain, not yeah. I don't like that one that much. It's good. It's fine, but
yeah,
I would put that lower.
So I guess favorite Batman movie for me. I don't want to say The Dark Knight because that's cliche. The Batman was great with Pattinson. I mean, I do like it.
I do too.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And I love Returns. I honestly, it's kind of a 3-way tie for me between The Dark Knight, The Batman, and Batman Returns. They're all so different from each other, but I love them all for completely different reasons.
Yeah, they're all great. At the time they came out, and again, Returns was great. It's one of my favorites. Really dark, and people don't understand this. Like Batman in '89 and Batman Returns, we're old enough to know this, but the only Batman we had on screen was Adam West, and I'm not taking anything away from that, but that's all we had is that silly let's go chum, and this was like dark and gritty, and it looked cool, and oh god, it really hit home at the time.
You got Pee Wee Herman playing Penguin's dad, throwing him in the sewers at the beginning. It's a great movie.
Yeah, and whatchamacallit, you a big fan of Pee Wee? Like, do you watch Pee Wee's Big Adventure and all those movies?
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm a big fan, but yeah, I'm familiar with the
Herman. Mom in that scene is the woman Simone in Pee Wee's Big Adventure who wants to go to France.
Oh yeah, well, also directed by Burton, so it makes sense.
Yeah,
he likes to keep his crew with.
Definitely. Alex, again, another question. Again, guys, send your questions. Like, we've got another 20 minutes. Any super chats again will be very much appreciated.
Get some super chats in here, people.
Something. Just kidding. Whatever you got, send it.
Working his ass off.
Menace to Society will be a breeze at 97. It's a great film. I love it. So yeah, that's going to be up there as well.
Easy breezy 97. That might be one of the shortest run times on the entire 31.
Maybe. I think Batman Begins is the best Batman movie of the Dark Knight trilogy, but the Dark Knight is, again, you ask anybody, that's going to be the default answer, and it's tough to argue with that. So, yeah, absolutely, man. So in the 90s, you said Jurassic Park. We were talking earlier when we first met off screen. You said Jurassic Park was your favorite 90s movie because you're a 90s guy, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, Jurassic Park is like just my favorite movie. Oddly enough, it's up there. So my top 10, I don't remember all 10 of them right off the gates, but Jurassic Park, The Thing, Die Hard, The Matrix, Fight Club, Empire Strikes Back. I don't know. I got a few more that I'm not thinking of right now, but those I got like a variety of films that kind of cross the different genres. But Jurassic Park is the one that I've seen the most, and just it's just a movie that hit me when I was the right age at the theaters. I remember seeing it with my mom and being kind of scared shitless of the raptors at the beginning, and just how he brought these dinosaurs to life at the time was absolutely insane to me. And it really opened my eyes to what movies can be. Yeah,
it really. I remember seeing that T-Rex come out and thinking that looks so real. I don't think, and I say this with confidence because I was there, but I don't remember anything looking that real, that good ever. As far as dinosaurs go, there was always stop motion, because that's all we had. This looks so real. I just remember people in the audience going quiet and gasping because it looked that good. It was unbelievably good. So I will never forget that moment.
And the atmosphere, the rains, smashing down on things, and just the wind whipping around with the trees. I kind of compare it to, there's always that movie for fans of films that just, it hits completely different.
Yeah.
And you only get so many of them. They're magical moments in life. The Jurassic Park was one. The Matrix was absolutely
Oh
one.
yeah.
I was fucking floored when I saw that movie in theaters.
Hmm.
I think one that was more recent for me was Everything Everywhere All at Once. It was a movie that when I was watching it, I was thinking, shit, I love this movie. This is just so brilliantly executed.
Hmm.
But they're rare. They're rare milestones, I think, in a movie buff's life, and those were the ones that really hit me. You know, another trilogy. I think the Matrix trilogy, kind of maybe a hotter take, but I've come to terms with the Matrix Revolutions over the years. I've learned to accept it and even appreciate it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Not the route I would have gone with the sequels for sure, but I do enjoy that trilogy quite a bit now. I don't talk about the fourth. That fourth movie is fucking awful. But
Like, why do they do that? I don't know.
I don't know.
But 3, I remember people hating it. And in my
Yeah.
opinion, I enjoyed it because, again, we kind of built up to 3. It was going to be a big fight. So when it happened, yeah, it was just nonstop. But I kind of walked in expecting that. So I
Mhm.
just heard people complaining about that. No, it was just nonstop, just fighting. But didn't we just spend 2 hours building up to this fight? We knew what was going to happen. So I don't think it's as bad as people
Well,
make it
that
out to
wasn't
be.
my issue with 3 initially at the theater. My issue was I didn't like where the story was taking us. Because
Oh.
the whole idea of the first movie was to free minds and to get out of the Matrix. And by the
Right.
third movie, we're doing the battle for Zion. It's like if I lived in Zion, I just say fucking kill me, or be like, you know, like that place sucks. They have a rave orgy once in a while. I suppose that's cool, but otherwise they're eating like goulash and walking around in old ass clothes. I think
Yeah.
Cyrus had it right when he got the steak and he said, "Bring me back as like a rich celebrity."
Yeah. I don't want to remember anything. Just bring me back.
Nothing.
Yeah, nothing. That steak still looks good. I'm picturing
Oh,
the scene in my
so
mind. Now I'm getting hungry.
He's got the wine.
Yeah, like that's so good. Now I'm getting hungry. The Animatrix. Did you ever see that? Those anime films?
Yeah, those are great.
I have that somewhere
Animatrix,
back there. Yeah.
so good. Yeah.
Yeah. So the Matrix is, again, groundbreaking. I know the bullet time is kind of like a cliche
yeah.
thing now, but that was so new. We had never seen that before. So just that whole scene is like, whoa.
Oh, so good. I remember being in school hallways and just pretending to run up the wall sideways. Like, Trinity, help! We'd have like the rolling chairs at school, so a guy would go down on the chair, and then you could like wheel it around, so it
Yeah.
looked like the camera was panning around.
Yeah.
We were cool. We were very
we
cool.
were cool. We had no smartphones in our hands. We had imaginations and made
That's
friends.
right. I made
Talked
like
to girls.
I made like Matrix collages on the computer in like Microsoft Word, taking
You
the
remember that?
photos from the. Oh my god.
Those are the days, man. 99
good.
was a great year for movies because it was The Matrix. It was also Fight Club. I remember being,
Yes.
and my girlfriend at the time, my first wife, we went and it was like empty. We were the only two in the theater because Fight Club bombed.
Yeah,
it did nothing in the theater, but I
Mhm.
remember like, holy shit, this movie's fucking amazing. I just love the message and the directing, and it
So
was
good.
awesome.
So good.
Yeah, it's definitely up there. Another question here. Did you guys like the Naked Gun teaser trailer? I enjoyed it. I'm not a fan of trailers, like I said, but this one, I just love that they're honoring the original Naked Gun series with these characters being children.
Did we talk about this earlier in the stream, or was that an off-camera?
I think that was
conversation?
off the stream.
Okay, maybe
I
it
think
was.
so. But yeah, the whole OJ joke at the end was pretty funny.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that, so I'm looking forward to that. Do you have any thoughts on that, or did I just say everything you were going to say?
No, I thought we talked about this, but maybe not. I love the Naked Gun movies. I love the parody genre before they were ruined by the scary movie sequels and not another epic movie and all those terrible ones. But the Naked Gun is a favorite of mine in comedy. I think it's fucking brilliant and hilarious. And this new one I was incredibly scared about. However, they did a smart thing by getting Liam Neeson. He has the dry wit and comedy.
Yeah.
I remember him back in the day being on, I'm going to forget the name of the show, but it was Ricky Gervais or however.
I've seen those clips on TikTok on YouTube.
It was an old TV show he had where it was, it was a parody, and Liam Neeson was on there and he was deadpan hilarious.
Yeah.
He's no Leslie Nielsen, and I just have to get over that. Leslie was one of a kind. But that teaser did at least get it right, making fun of the soft reboots, and everybody had a dad that was dead on the wall, and that OJ joke really landed. So yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic. Hopefully it's not as lame and bad as Beverly Hills Cop 4 was.
Oh, I didn't even bother watching that.
No, bad.
You know, until you just said that, I didn't know they made a 4.
Yeah.
I thought I saw that 3.
No.
Oh, God.
3 was the one that was at the knockoff Disney World, which I enjoy. A lot of people do not like that movie. I think it's fun, but
yeah.
Nick,
hey, hello. How are you? Pleasure to meet you. Let's see. What do we have? Name doesn't look familiar, so I'm just saying, pleasure to meet you. Because, you know, you go live, you have your certain people like you recognize them, things like that. So, oh, we got a super chat. Thank you, Troy.
Shot out of a cannon.
Wow. Thank you. Oh, hold on. I got to do the. There you go. And I'll also give you.
You're pretty good.
Thank you, Troy.
Not
Random
bad.
question, but it was inspired by the JP talk. Wayne's World 1 and 2. I think 1 is better movie, but 2 is funnier, similar to Ace Ventura. Oh God! You know what? I have to admit something. I didn't see 2. I've seen fragments of it.
Which one? Wayne's World 2 or Ace Ventura 2?
Well, Wayne's World 2. I've only seen 1. I haven't seen. I've seen bits and when you see movies it's on, you catch 20 minutes here and there, and then you think you've seen it all. I haven't seen it all the way through, but I do love 1. Yeah. 1's amazing. What do you think? Do you like 1 or 2?
1 is a lot better than 2. And as far as the humor, I would agree there are some very funny bits in 2, but number 1 overall is just consistently a much better movie. I'd say the same as Ace Ventura 2 as well. Ace Ventura far better than the sequel. The sequel does have that rhino moment though that everybody
That's pretty
loves,
funny.
which is hilarious. And there's a couple of "you must be the Monopoly guy." Yeah, there's good stuff.
Yeah,
I do like Wayne's World 1 and 2 though, but 1 takes it.
You know what? I need to see part 2 because my wife's always quoting it. So I don't get that one. Just go talk about part 1. So
why do I need a gun rack? I don't even have a gun, let alone enough to necessitate an entire rack.
Yeah, we went and saw Alice Cooper last year. We started quoting like that whole scene. Did you know Milwaukee's the only city that has 2 socialist mayors?
Yeah. Troy's inspiration from Jurassic Park, because maybe you saw the clip, but there is a point where they're trying to go to Waynestock, which is like Woodstock, and they get lost in the jungle. And so they're looking at the map up on the window with the flashlight, and they pull it down, and the T-Rex is there, the eye. Like, yeah,
that's a great one. Yeah. And as far as and again, Troy, thank you so much for the super chat. I really do appreciate that. Is it Sladen 67?
Sladen.
I know, like sounds like a superhero name or protagonist in a Stephen King movie. Do you guys have you guys seen a superhero movie from 2008?
Ugh. Is that what I'm talking about? Is that shit like not another? Yeah, this is one of those types of movies, the parody films, but they're not like witty or anything. It's just got Kim Kardashian getting hit with an asteroid, and that's the joke. I'm not even joking. I think that's what happened. Or it's Miley Cyrus. It's a fake Miley Cyrus gets hit by an asteroid.
God, no. I would not waste my time watching those movies. I like Scary Movie 1 and 2. Those are the great ones. And then they kind of went to shit after that because the Wayans brothers weren't involved in that.
Yeah, it's the hacks from those later scary movies that were pretty much responsible for all the death of the parody franchise films. Hot Shots Part 1 and 2 are freaking hilarious. Those are really good with Charlie Sheen.
All about those.
Yeah, so good. Again, the first one's really it's a Top Gun parody for the most part.
Yeah, and the second one's a Rambo parody.
Yes,
somewhat. Yeah.
It's got a little bit of everything in the sequel, and then Spy Hard was all right. Wrongfully Accused is really funny.
Mm-hmm. Repossessed is funny as well.
Yeah. Yep. So there was a good run. Airplane, of course, is one of the best.
Oh, that's the best, man.
Airplane 2 sucks, but the first one's really good.
Yeah. Oh, a couple more super chats. Oh my God, Sean! Again, thank you.
You're pretty good.
All right, thank you so much. And I won't play the whole thing, but there you go, Sean. Thank you so much. Have you seen Continental Divide with John Belushi? No. Have you? The Sure Thing with John Cusack. No,
I've seen that. I went like down a Cusack rabbit hole back in the 90s with a lot of his movies. He's good. He was really fantastic.
Yeah, I love Identity. That's one of my favorites. In that
Identity's great.
The hotel room, him and Samuel Jackson, room 1492. I think.
Yeah, 14
Something.
something. Yeah, that one's all right. High Fidelity is really good.
I didn't like that one at all.
Really?
No, Gross Point Blank.
Gross
I didn't
Point
like that one.
Blank. Oh, I think that one's great.
Oh yeah. My wife was like, "You got to see it," and we saw it. I didn't laugh once. I was like,
Say anything. You didn't laugh at the scene where they're doing the shootout in the grocery or in the little mini mart. Oh,
no, and I went in like ready to enjoy it, but I just didn't like it at all.
Okay. Well,
I mean, you didn't like
very
the Zack
dry.
Snyder cut. I didn't like, you know.
I didn't dislike the Zack Snyder cut. I hated the last whatever that appendices or whatever they put on. This whole shit. The movie itself was fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, but Easy Money and Back to School. Yeah, I love those movies. Those are fantastic comedies.
Robert Downey's great. Robert Downey. Rodney Dangerfield's hilarious in that.
Yeah, but Robert Downey Jr. is in Back to School.
Oh, that's right. He is.
Yeah, he's his son's friend.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and then also the what's his name? Danny, the guy who does the Tim Burton music.
Danny Elfman.
Yeah, his band Ooga Booga, whatever. Dead Man's Party, they're in there as well. So I love Rodney Dangerfield, man. Fantastic. But again,
no
Sean,
respect. No respect.
Another super chat. I won't do the moan. I will do
You're pretty good.
And we'll also do
Bitches leave.
There you go. Unpopular opinion. I don't like. Oh my god, you don't like Edward Scissorhands?
Damn.
The villain was cliche, and the message was botched. If you're not cry, you must stay up with the tower. I love Edward Scissorhands. That's a classic for me. You?
I appreciate it. I've never been like a massive fan. I'm kind of indifferent. I haven't seen it in a long time, and I never really had a desire to revisit it. But
Gotcha.
Yeah.
If you're an outcast, you must stay up in that tower. What the fuck? Well, that's the tragic ending of it. Like the unfulfilled love, the what if, the possibilities. That leaves the romance there. But it's like a tragic fairy tale is what it is. The old fairy tales before Disney got a hold of them, they all fucking died. I think Pinocchio got killed, and
the
Snow White
Brothers
was even alive.
The Grimm fairy tale stuff is brutal. Did you see? What's your favorite Tim Burton movie? Do you have one?
Beetlejuice.
Oh,
no,
nice.
Beetlejuice, yes, but I think Pee-wee's Big Adventure. I love that. I quote it all the time. Paul Rubens did like a 30-something anniversary where he went on tour, and of course, San Antonio is a big part of the movie because of the Alamo. So we all went to this theater and saw it with him. So it was like a cool experience before he passed, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd say Beetlejuice is my favorite, and then Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Did you like Beetlejuice?
Yeah,
I did too.
I loved it. Yeah, and you know what? I tell people in my review that I walked out thinking, "Hey, that was funny. That was fine." And I go, "It was weird, but it was funny."
Yeah.
And I said it was just. I rated it as good as the original Beetlejuice, and I know a lot of people are like, "What the fuck's he talking about?" It came out on my birthday in 1988. And I remember I went and saw it twice that day. And every time we left, we go, that's fucking weird. Like no comedy had ever made that type of sense.
Yeah.
And because it was so odd, otherworldly, it didn't become a classic until much later. And a lot of people I remember leaving the theater were pissed off because they went in thinking it was going to be a Beetlejuice movie, but Michael Keaton's only in it 10 minutes, maybe.
Yeah,
5
10
minutes?
or 4. Yeah, it's not very long at all.
Yeah, so people were pissed. And people didn't like it that much, but it kind of grew into this thing where you can now go to those Spirit Halloween stores and buy all the decor you want. So I really like part 2.
Yeah.
You?
I have a soft spot for the stupid soft reboot movies. I don't know why, because I'm like bitter and jaded that they keep doing them and they're the same formulaic thing every time. But I still give them a pass. Alien Romulus, I really enjoyed.
That was
even
great.
though it was again kind of the paint by numbers thing you do. Beetlejuice, I really liked. Twisters, I even enjoyed a lot, even though I was really bitter going into that one. But I still found myself enjoying it. None of them, I think, hold a candle to their originals, but whatever. It is what it is. They're fun.
I'm glad that you and me have the same kind of like resentment. Like, I don't want to go fucking see it, but I have to. With some movies, I think that's reassuring to hear.
It almost helps to go in with such a bitter, jaded approach, because then you ended up like, well, that wasn't near as shitty as I thought it was going to be. So great.
Oh wow, more super chats. All right, let's do this, and we got a couple minutes, but let's finish this out real quick. Alex, again, thank you so much.
Pretty good.
Ever see the Stepfather movies? No, I did not. You?
Nope.
Oh God.
Sorry
I will
for
check
your
it out.
loss?
Yeah, I know of them, but I haven't seen them. I know of them, but I haven't seen them. But we'll check them out. Thank you for the recommendation and the super chat.
I don't even know what these are. These are horror movies?
More or less.
Oh, yeah. No, I've never even heard of them. Wow.
Okay. And again, Sean, with the super chat, thank you so
You're
much.
pretty good.
Have you seen Switching Channels with Burt Reynolds, Kathleen Turner, Christopher Reeves? Yes, a long, long time ago on HBO, but I have not seen it since. Have you seen it?
I've only seen Family Business from the list that he's provided. I've not seen the other two.
Yeah, Death Trap, none of these films. I'll keep them in mind. Thank you for recommending them. And again, thank you so much for the support and the super chat. Thank you so much. Really do appreciate that. Last question, then we'll go ahead and end it here. Do you guys think bringing back characters like Professor Xavier and Iron Man ruins the emotional end to their characters in Logan and Endgame? I'll let you tackle that first.
No, but I also think it's not great to do. Like Professor X, the last time we saw him was in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. I think that was supposed to be the one from...
That was the X-Men one, right? For the comic books? No, from the animated series, right?
Yeah, I guess it was the animated one. So it wasn't the one that died in Logan, but it's still Patrick Stewart. So yeah. I'm seeing him as Professor X from those movies. And the way that they just kind of used him as a cheap kill was almost borderline insulting to me. Like, yeah, I don't know if I care. I don't think it definitely doesn't ruin the other movies for sure, but it's also kind of an unnecessary thing that they're clearly going to do just because fans want to see more of them and they know it's an easy way to, again, bring people into the movies and get those easy wins.
Yeah. And I'm not going to add anything to that because you just more or less said everything I was going to say, because there's like a bitter part of me that does get upset when it happens, but I understand it's a business. I understand it's money, and I understand the fans want it. And that's ultimately what's going to happen. If it brings in funds, it brings in revenue, they're going to do it.
We can end on this, but do you think, what do you think of the idea of Robert Downey coming into the Avengers as
fucking
Dr.
stupid?
Doom? Yes. Okay.
Fucking stupid.
Yeah.
It just,
do you think there's any chance he's not an Iron Man variant? I mean, he has to be, right? They're just full of shit. He's got to be an Iron Man variant.
Yeah, and that's when I'm going to roll my eyes and just leave the theater. Like, fuck this movie. They could have gone so many different ways, but they went back to what they knew would work, because everything they've done since he's left hasn't hit. So they went back to what they know, and they're going to write it up however they want. And I get Dr. Doom. There's so many variants. There's hundreds of variants for every character. I get that, but it just felt like a cheap gimmick and desperate.
Yeah.
I fucking hate it, man.
Sorry for bringing it up.
Now I'm pissed. We're doing so good, man.
You got another $10 super chat, so you're good.
Another one. Okay, wow. Here we go. I have it up here. Daphne, who's a Zuniga at a con, and she told me that Carrie Fisher once came up to her and she said, "Hey, you're me." Fun fact, she was one of the last people to work with Lucille Ball.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Well, that's awesome. Well, thanks for the story. Who's
Daphne Zuniga? Wasn't she in like Designing Women or something?
I don't know. Let me look that up real quick.
She looks familiar. She looks like 4 other actresses. Oh, she's from Melrose Place. I knew it was one of those shows. Okay, she's from Melrose
Place. The 90s show?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, let me see. Catherine Zuniga.
Oh,
her. Yeah.
Yeah. Funny enough, I was actually thinking of Melrose Place, and I was just saying Designing Women, but that's the one I was thinking of. Awesome. I watched Melrose Place, I believe, in its entirety with my mom back in the day. It was like our show that we'd watch together. It was awesome.
Yeah. I love that we're the same age and that we probably lost half the people in this live, but I know what you're talking about.
Yes.
It was cool. But again, I think we're done here. So again, Adam, you know what? This is cool. Like I said, I know we barely met like an hour before this live. And again, I feel like I've known you forever. We hit it off well. And again, it was a pleasure meeting you. And again, thank you for taking time this evening to hang out with me and to answer some questions, man. This is really cool.
Yeah, it was great. I wanted to, you seemed interesting enough when we chatted earlier. I'm like, I want to jump on with this guy, at least have some time to get to know him better, since we're going on this journey together of 31 movies that we somehow have to fit into our super not busy schedules at all. I don't know what I signed up for, but I'm excited to go on this journey. Hopefully I'll see you on the other side, brother.
Yeah, I definitely will, man. But again, I'm pretty sure everybody knows who this guy is. He's a big deal on YouTube, super successful. Again, follow him if you don't know who he is, go follow him. He's great. Again, awesome dude. And I can't wait till we do this again, or our paths cross.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say, I definitely extend the olive branch. I go live on Tuesday nights, typically Han Solo, but then I I occasionally will do a second stream on like a Thursday or Friday night. So if you want to join me on a future one, that would be fantastic.
Yeah,
especially,
I am down.
Especially now that you love Lynch, because I got a buddy from Hack the Movies who is obsessed with David Lynch. He loves talking about him. So you guys could have like just a big masturbatory session about him, and I could just stand there and listen if you want.
You're speaking my language.
Yes.
You're speaking my love language. That's awesome, man.
All right. Thanks for having me on, dude. I appreciate it.
No problem. And everybody, thank you for watching. Again, subscribe if you haven't done so. Here, like, leave some comments, and I'll see you next time. Peace.
Holy